but they can't see us, so
That's
that'll be
all
fun for
good.
them.
That's all good. Well, you guys are coming. And thank you guys for coming back again.
Oh, I can't hear. All right, I'll be right
I'm
back.
looking at all of our past maps and just the little memory of the murder that took place.
Who murdered who?
A lot of murdering going on.
Oh, I got inspired by you, Eric, and I threw some wraiths at my party last night. Yeah, last night. It went great. It went great. The monk got stuck at 22 HP. It's always the monk.
Why?
Granted, this party does have 2 monks.
Okay.
Oh God.
The odds of that happening. No, they just punch all the things so many times. How dare?
Yeah, wraiths are a good neutralizer to melee heavy, to any melee heavy group, because
I might have overplanned because I also threw a banshee at them, and it took all but one of them out with its first whale.
oof.
And so I decided to be a nice DM and give them a get out of CPK free card, and so that if they could make the con save on subsequent turns, that they could get back up at full health.
That'll be good.
Because otherwise, it was just not going to be a battle.
Nah, like wraiths and a banshee. Oof. You know. Well, wraiths.
I mean, they're like reasonable, but
Like I like wraiths because it's just such a, you know, it's one of those like, oh, we could take it, and then it hits you one time.
No.
And you're like,
yeah.
ooh.
One time it's still a con save. Sorry.
Yeah.
That's something like a +9 to hit or something ridiculous like that.
Yeah. Yeah, they almost
good.
always hit. You have to roll for it.
Right? It's a good one for when you've got a really tanky paladin who's a little too cocky and thinks that they can't get hit by anything.
Yeah. Yeah. Let them get hit twice by the same thing, by that. Alrighty. Well, guys.
All right, hold on.
Okay, go. Okay. Well, I'll do that. I'll hold on. How you doing, everyone?
All right, we're live.
Alrighty. I can hear everyone all right. Give me a sound
Yes,
on.
yes, testing.
Testing.
Hello.
Hello, everybody.
There we
Hey.
go.
So here. Hopefully y'all aren't getting video game noises in the background.
Maybe.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys again for coming to another episode of the Lomé Games, or my little homebrew. And where we last left off, the heroes of Father's Grace. No, not Father's Grace. Mother's Love, Father's
Resolve.
yeah, my God, I forgot my own writing. Heroes of Father's Resolve.
Oh no.
All here.
Narrowly survived the attempted assassination attempt on Lomé, Shaza, Jago, and Saga when chasing after the mysterious tiefling who stole the portion of the hemoglobin that Jago had collected, and then overhearing somehow a psychic conversation between this mysterious tiefling and the death god Awa Corte, telling him to officially follow his rules and to kill the bugbear. The tiefling stops in his tracks and proceeds to achieve that very same goal, but does not do the finishing blow. Instead, takes the hemoglobin and runs off into the distance. After the party reconvened and theories were shared, there was one more mission that needed to be done. Throughout this attempted assassination coup, apparently, Frollo had also attempted to take Bourbon Bay, which he was unsuccessful in, but was able to grab a few hostages to potentially barter with. The Shaza instructed the heroes of Father's Resolve to do their best to save the hostages and then give warning to the captain of his guards so they can push in. However, upon this group is not so much the ideal for stealth missions, and Saga, after witnessing that 2 of the hostages were her father and dearest friend, decided to throw away stealth and attack coming in, which has resulted in the death of a variety of nobles. Connor, after assisting, has been saddled almost with the young boy who witnessed these horrors and is attempting to find someone to take care of the now orphan noble.
I'll be
Saga,
his father.
Saga reconnected with all of her family, realizing that her father had come into town to try to reconnect with his family, but was taken in by the attempted coup. Jago and Larcanus went over to Shaza and proceeded to tell them as much as they knew about the description of this tiefling man. Drawings was drawn up. That very same man came across Delilah, Saga's mother, who immediately recognized the photo and told Saga that strange tiefling man is a spitting image of her great ancestor, Tisona, the name that is very familiar as the guardian of Lomé, who defeated Awa Corte many years ago. That's where we will pick up, and we will start with Connor. You're walking down Bourbon Bay, the young boy following very close at hand. He has not spoken a single word. He just is following you, his eyes looking down on the ground.
All right. So Connor's, he's clenching his jaw. He's not feeling too comfortable, but he feels responsible. So he's gonna make his way toward Craven's pub.
Okay. Going over to Hannibal's Resolve. You very close by. You walk in. Area is now filled with guards. So you see orc soldiers. It seems like you look around. It seems like there was this massive fight. Tables are turned over. Windows are shattered. You see Giselle, the tavern owner. She's sweeping up. And it seems like this has become a kind of makeshift staging ground to retake Bourbon Bay. So it's a lot more lax now. You see a few guards kind of walking around, going in and out, and Giselle looks up at you. She smiles.
So I do my best to return. Giselle, this boy, he's the only survivor from the hostages that were taken. And I'm trying to find his retainer, someone who is in his care. I imagine that his parents were probably among the dead. Is there any way that a direction you could point me, maybe, or if you recognize this boy?
She kind of gets down to the ground, so she's eye level with the child. She's like, "Do you know where you were staying, honey? Do you know? We were near the tower. We were near the library. My daddy would take me there to play in the courtyard. Do you know? Is there anyone else? Carlton, he's our butler. He stayed in the house. I want to see Carlton. I want to go. And she looks over at you, like apparently he's I'm not sure if you know where the library is. It's up in Champion's Way. Do you know that area?
I do, yeah. I'll make my way there. Thank you.
No problem. Good luck.
So I'm gonna put my hand on the boy's head and guide him, and we're gonna make our way to the library.
When you touch his head, he kind of just instinctively kind of darts away from it. But he still stands quietly, but he's making like he doesn't want to be touched. He is still being close to you, but he just, he instinctively like kind of almost like you were going to hit him.
Come on, we've got to go.
Follows along. You make your way up Champion's Way, and as you head up, you start seeing a variety of civilians. They're just constant, like you see people hugging. Somebody like mothers running around asking for names, and men's like grabbing the guards, like, have you seen her? It's like she was in a pink dress, and as you guys are, the guards are swarmed. They're trying their best to try to find out who's who, and like, yeah, can you describe? Can you describe? He was, and you're just passing by, and as you make your way up the library, you see another section of people looking out, and you see a human male, older gentleman, olive skin tone, white mustache, white hair, stands proper in a fine suit, white gloves, and he's also peering out. And when he catches your eyes, he immediately runs. The boy looks over and immediately darts away from you and is running towards this man, and he grabs the boy and he holds him tight. They're a little bit about 20 feet away. They're not really, you can't, unless you want to try to hear in, you can't really hear from your distance.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna make my way over slowly to the butler.
Yeah, it's like, thank you, sir. I don't suppose the young boy's parents were there.
Can't say that I know for sure. Maybe when he's ready to talk, he can tell you. But I'll have you know that it's Retainer's responsibility to care for the family, not just in times of peace.
Give me an intimidation check.
It's a 9.
Young man, I thank you for bringing the young master home. Don't presume you know what my job is, and don't presume you know what a vacation is meant to be a part of. I can look upon you that you are probably accustomed to people of my service. My employer wishes me to stay home and take care of the home. That is what I shall do. Thank you. You have a nice day. And he carries the kid in his arms, turns around, and walks away.
That's a good
I've
turn.
said my piece.
Yeah.
I didn't want to intimidate him anyway. So Connor's gonna just bite his lip, let it slide, because he knows that the pain that he's going through isn't worth anything that Connor could say. And he's just gonna leave it at that.
Okay. All right. Where are you heading?
I think I'm gonna head to try and find. I'm gonna go try and find Zool. I'm gonna head back down to Mother's Love and see if I can find him.
Okay. In the meanwhile, we'll go to Martinez and Jago. Last we left you guys, you had just given the description. The guy headed off. Parts unknown. Where would you guys like to go after that?
There we go. Ah, sorry, the mute button kept turning on when I was turning it off. I would like to head down towards the pub and see if there's anything to do to help.
Okay. Joining Arcanus?
I actually want to see if any of the shops or anything along the line also need help. I'll just, we'll just see if anybody needs help. Split up.
Yeah, maybe just sort of like roam the town, see if anybody needs help, like lifting things, rebuilding. Like I just not the pub necessarily because we're already there, but just anywhere.
Okay, give me some perception checks.
Natural 20.
Dang it.
Ooh, first roll.
Natural 1. I got 2.
That's a good balance. So, Arcanus, it just seems so chaotic for you. Just everyone moving all about. You kind of just don't even know where to go. So you just kind of
throws up.
Yeah, you kind of just take. You're not used to seeing this. You're not used to seeing this from your monk days in the in training. You didn't see a raid. You never saw a raid. You never saw the aftermath of a raid ever. So it's ugly. You just see sorrow, people on the corner crying. You see, different people, both noble, peasant, middle class. They're just seem like they're wrecked. And the fact that there's no music, it's even jarring because it's been so jovial since you got off the boat from here. So it kind of just takes you aback. Jago, you notice a few things where you can make yourself helpful. You see a few carriages that were burning, and you see some people trying to put it out. You just kind of just drag, looks like you just make Larcanus follow you. You see some burnt up chariots. You see some places that some tavern stands knocked over, and so you see a few places where you guys can kind of help out. Pick things up.
I'm gonna go help put out the fire because there's a fire, and just try to help, just sort of pat it out using like whatever.
Okay, alrighty. Go ahead and let's see. Give me just a basic intelligence check. I kind of want you to roll low, just to.
Read it. Oh, I only have a +1 in intelligence. It's a 14.
14? Yeah, you do it fine. There's enough people there. Like everyone is like, many hands make light work. You grab some dirt, you taper it down. If you guys have cloths that they're patting it down. The chariot's done. All the silk wrapping is all charred away. Whatever was in there of value, it ripped apart. Even the gold rim of some of the wheels have been pried off, and it works for her. But now there's no longer a burning chariot on the middle of the road. So, in the meantime, and as you guys are doing this, you see Connor walking down the path. Seems like he's heading over to Mother's Love. He's making the wide bank over down to that area. In the meanwhile, Saga, you just your brother and your sister Danae and Damien have gone over to the pub. Your oldest brother Jonah, and mother Delilah has gone back to her home to search for this journal. Your dad has made his walk back to Mother's Love, presumably to tell the mages of what happened. What would you like to do?
All right. So I'm going to head back to my mom's house because I want to find out as much as I can about Chisona. Along the way, I'm keeping an eye out for any members of the party or Shaza if I see any of them.
Okay. Give me a perception check.
Plus 18.
18. Considering the time period of where everyone's going, you don't notice anyone as your mom is actually going towards where the hostages were. So you're kind of going along the eastern bank of the island. So you don't notice any of your compatriots. You see a few guards. You see a few, and if I recall, I think I dropped her. Alicia, you do see the captain of the guard, Alicia, kind of.
That hot chick.
Oh.
Uh-oh. Oh no, the DM is dropped out of the session.
My apologies.
Yo, what if he was in full makeup?
Just with the give me time, guys. I will have like a whole wardrobe just ready for you guys. I'll go full on acting.
I will help. I can help. Message me for makeup tips. I got you.
So you see Alicia, the captain of the guard. She's kind of telling everyone to go. She has a variety of paperwork that people have been handing her, and she's reading, moving, kind of directing people to go. So you do notice her as you're walking towards. She seems like she's kind of dealing with the body removal of the hostages. So you're passing her by as you're going to your mother's. If there's anything you want to say. I'm
just going to try to walk past that as quickly as possible.
Go ahead and give me a stealth check.
Fuck. Well, it's a nat 20, but it's at disadvantage, so let's see what that is. It's 2 nat 20s!
Oh, wow!
Wow. For total 21.
You, like, as you're passing by, you're about to cross paths with Alicia, you
Why couldn't I have gotten that while we were trying to sleep?
You even think that. You even think that, like, oh, I can do it when I'm trying to hide from the guilt. The guilt has given you the ability to hide, and you even overhear, fucking amateurs. Fucking amateurs. Why did Jago send them? Why did he send them? Apparently they didn't have enough men. They're too busy fucking taking everything else. Unnecessary. Unnecessary. And you nimbly walk by it. Those words kind of sting the back of your head. And you make it to your mother's house. You see her and your brother are kind of like like normally last time you were there, it had all these barrels of paint laid out. You still see Terra Croca's statue. It's again not fully painted, but now outside of the house is a variety of boxes and just a variety of odds and ends. It seems like your mother and your brother are like taking as much out, trying to track it down. A small journal that she put away for God knows how long ago. And they see Jonah's like, hey sis.
Hey, can I help look?
Oh yeah, we haven't even checked that whole side over there. So good luck.
All right. Cool. So I just dive in, start looking for it.
Give me an investigation.
That's not as good. It's just a 9.
A 9?
Yeah.
Okay, you are there for a solid hour looking for this tome, and you do eventually find it. You find this old leather-bound, gray-dyed journal, and it's tightly wound, and it seems like there's a crest at the front of two horns. You see 2 horns with a leaf connecting the 2 of them. This is a very familiar symbol, as it's very common family crest from your mother's side, and you open it, and it reads in Inferno to Sona. My life, my journeys, and my sorrow. And you have found the Journal of Tisona. So, in the meantime, seeing though that took you about an hour to do, you guys have now crossed paths. You see Connor, Larcanus, and Jago. You see Connor kind of making his way down Mother's Love. You guys are going into Hannibal's Resolve.
That's my plan.
All right, so Jago, Larcanus, are you guys going to Mother's Love? Or
yes.
Okay, so go ahead, Jago, Connor, roll initiative. So we'll see which one of you go first.
9.
23.
23, okay, Larcanus and Jago, you guys walk into Hannibal's. Just like Connor, it's a wreck. Tables turned over, glasses smashed in, Giselle sweeping up, and a few of the orc guards, some of them are sitting around, some of them are moving around. It seems like a lot of hustle and bustle, but seems like no one's really drinking right now. It's just repair.
I want to see if there's anything I can sort of help with. Around there, yeah.
Not even worth a perception check. Your passive perception. There's plenty of tables that are turned over that you can pick up, because this is a very large establishment. I'm
gonna start just helping, just do tables. Sort of give people that quiet sort of smirk and the subtle nod you give when you do volunteer work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. And that's how long do you guys do that for? There's plenty of work.
I'll do that for about an hour.
Okay. Alrighty. And so within this hour of research and of spring cleaning and helping out the tattered Hannibals, Connor, you're making your way. Go ahead and give me a perception check.
Sure. It's a number.
I guess number.
It's 12.
12. Okay. You're making your way up the road to where Mother's Love is. And as you're walking by, you pass by the area where you last met Zul when you convinced him to partake. And as you keep going along, you start passing by the stables, where you guys originally saw some horses running back and forth. And you see Zul. He's surrounded by a variety of tieflings, orcs. These are like not noble. These are people who seem like they live in like actual natives, and they're all surrounding him. And you see they're just like, "Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm alive because of you. I can't." And it's just, and he's kind of just waving them away as he's trying to kind of walk through the path. And you see he's kind of trying to get his way back to the forest, but people are handing him like bread, or it's just like they're trying to give him coin. And and as you approach, and you see Zul looks over at you. Glad you're alive. Trying to push some people. You're welcome. Please, you're welcome. Go home. Take care of yourself.
Yeah, so I'm gonna shout to the crowd real quick, gently but loud enough for them to hear. A druid needs his peace. The best thing you can do for this man is leave him be.
Give me a persuasion check.
It's a 12.
12? Yeah, that's enough. They look at you, they look at him, and they see his eyes, and they're like, okay, well, if you ever need anything, I own a shop. Oh, and they're trying to do this little partying, like, come to my shop, and I'll take care of you. Free beds, and he walks over to you. Thank you.
Certainly.
It was uncomfortable.
As it seemed it would be. Honestly, even me, who likes to draw a crowd, can only take so much.
What brings you here?
Honestly, you. I just wanted to make sure that you managed. It seems like you did quite well. Thank you for taking care of people.
Yes. I heard the screaming. A bunch of people were running down the road. Sellswords are trying to cut them down. I stopped that. And he kind of just points over, and you see kind of off where, by the tree line, right along the path of the road, you see a few guards who are kind of wrapping up bodies. And just by looking at you see they're horribly mauled. And the guards are just kind of sectioning them off and putting them together as Zul just points over to them. They weren't expecting me.
Well, aren't many druids about, so I would be surprised too. I mean, I was taken aback when I saw you transform for the first time, and honestly, I still haven't gotten used to it. But I'll leave you to your peace, Zul. I wanted to make sure that you were okay, and come find us up at Hannibal's when you're ready. We'll be there, and we still plan on entering the group melee, so we'll be happy to have you by our side.
You will have me. My word is my bond. I will also be... I'm still contemplating, but I think I will partake in the mounted obstacle course. So... I'll think about seeing you at Hannibal's. Give me your persuasion check.
A who now what?
Persuasion.
We are looking at 17.
17, he just nods. Safe travels. And he walks off into the tree line. And then as he starts getting out your distance, you see him crouch over and turn back into air as he walks off.
So I give him a friendly wave, satisfied that our friend has not fallen to the coup attempt, And I'm gonna make my way back up to Hannibal's again to see if I can bump into anyone else I know.
Okay. And you do so. In the meanwhile, so you get back there, you get over there. It's been about, the travel back and forth. It's been about an hour. You come into Hannibal's and you see your compatriots are all there helping out. They're cleaning up. The place looks in that short amount of time. It's been about an hour and a half since you parted.
Larcanis, move that bus.
It's a bad. You see a few like you see Larcanis and Jago trying to get a tattered long table out the back door, and it's like in those odd. No, you got to turn. No, my left. You turn.
Pivot.
So you gotta turn it and pivot.
Giselle is like, no, the other way, and.
No, you measuring this? Are you measuring this in metrics? Because I think this is 2 kilometers too short to get in here, and you guys are measuring this wrong.
We got it in before. We got it in. We can get it out. Okay.
Yeah, would have got out through the window, so it's going into a different doorway now.
Right.
So I'm gonna look around and see if there's anything to do.
It's a lot of the heavy lifting is done. And so now it's just a matter of mopping the blood. That's all over the blood or liquor or feces, who knows. That's just kind of strewn about the floor, and there's a
In Montreal, we call that no juice.
there's a mop.
All those things mixed together.
Yeah, so I'm gonna grab the mop and just start working. I'm gonna just silently just keep into my work and just.
Okay, alrighty. And in the meanwhile, Saga, you have the book. What would you like to do?
Well, I am the librarian barbarian, so let's read this.
I'm very good when I caught on.
So am I. I love it. But more specifically, I want to look towards the end of it, and try to understand how.
Marked for death.
I want to try to understand what might have happened to Sona and who he's now in service to.
Okay. Go ahead and give me investigation.
Oh God. That's an 11.
11. You flip all the way to the end of the novel, of this tome of a journal, and it dates at this point. It's about 100 and almost 130 years ago, and it seems it reads like I don't know how much longer I'm left for this world, but when I look at my great-grandchildren, it makes me smile. I have hope for them that they will not live through what me and my compatriots had to suffer through. I think I can rest peacefully. I hope Sapphire does good by my family. I'm certain she is the home life has never really treated her well, but the way her grandchildren look at her and the way she smiles and take care of them, I have no doubt that she will honor my family in my passing. And that's the last. It's literally the last. You just read that little clip about, and this is about, and from the date, it seems like 130 years ago or so.
All right.
So you can keep on.
So I'm just gonna look up from that. Just Jonah, God damn it, you're so much better at this than I am.
He's like, yeah, come bring it over here.
I don't get it. He seemed like he was okay. He died, or he was going to die, according to what he was writing here. How is he alive? Who is he working for? What is he undead? I just kind of like shove the book at him. I'm like, I don't get it. Help.
Okay. That's a lot to unpack. Alrighty, and he starts flipping through the pages, and he's like,
Can I help him so that he can roll with advantage?
Yes, you can help him.
Perfect. I'm just like reading over his shoulder, trying to see if words are popping out.
Yeah. So as you guys are doing this effort together, he's reaching the end and kind of going backwards from there, going to major chapters, and then you come across Awa Corte in Inferno, and it's the name that you recognize. And he's like, "Oh, okay, all right. Well, there's a lot about this guy." And as you see, he seems like he has sectioned off the journal with major events and titles. And when you get to one that's titled Awa Corte, it's the thickest part of the journal. And so as you read through it, you come across a few things. You come across once again the names of the guardians, but now as he writes them, spoken with a lot more fondness. Reads of his dear friend Zulu. Zulu and Karina left they've been gone for almost a month now. Zulu said he had a plan to stop Awa Corte. I have no idea what that man is thinking, but he's always come up with the most outlandish and oddly successful plans. And Kadi has always been good at stealing everything that she can find. So a pair of those can only do terrible good, I imagine. I look over at Sapphire and I act like I'm not afraid. He's so powerful. Lomarians don't even know how much of a threat he is. He grows more powerful every day. If we don't act quickly, I don't even know if we can stop him. I don't want Sapphire to get hurt. I can't. Hannibal's ready for a battle. Hannibal just says, let's just go. Let's just fight him now. We don't need the council's approval. We know the death that marches beside him. When Zulu and Karina get back, I'll agree with all of them. We'll stop Awa Corte. I don't even know if stopping him would actually do it. Even if we kill him, can he die? All the things I've seen him do. I don't know anymore. But if I die doing this, it'll be a good death. And I'll save my home. And that's a big chunk of the chapter that you read. And you have to do a little bit more research at this point. A big chunk of time passes off. It's getting to it's now the later afternoon. And reaching near the evening, which means the obstacle course is on its way. You still got a couple more hours, but you can continue, or he's like, well, there you go. If any of your friends can help you with it, good luck.
Yeah. Is my mom still there?
Yeah. She's now putting everything back while you guys have been reading it. She's been reorganizing the home.
Bless her. So while she's doing that, I'm gonna go, hey, Mom, do we have an ancestor named Sapphire?
We do. It was the wife of Tasona.
Okay. That's good to know. And
her full name
Hannibal,
is actually
I know...
Precious, based on the book Push by Sapphire.
Very good. Delilah even walks back and she brings out a canvas that she had been working on, and she's like, I've been working on this it's a project that I never finished, but if you look right, I think it's at the beginning of the book, and she flips over the journal and you see a crude sketch of what must be, you see two tieflings, a human, elf woman, a human man, an elf woman, and a bugbear, all standing side by side. And she shows her canvas, where she seemed like she's attempted to recreate the drawing, and it's still very rough. It was like a project. She's like, I started this years ago, and then I kind of lost interest, so I didn't finish it. But yeah, that's how I looked at his face for so much. So when I saw his picture, I remembered it. And yeah, that's Tasona and his wife, Sapphire. And those are your two ancestors. And that's Hannibal. And she very burly human male, thick beard, and that's Kainina. You see a elf woman. She's kind of like crouched at the stance, like not standing up, but like at a small crouch. You see a little short sword next to her, and you see a bugbear who's standing up with like scratching the back of his head, towering over everyone. And yeah, those are the Guardians of Lomé. No one, I mean, the story's old. It's 150 years ago, so not really talked about at all. For some reason, you would think people would talk about something like this more, but apparently.
You know, it's the first I'm hearing of it. Do you know, is there anybody on the island who might know more about them?
I mean, I suppose, you're going the ancient history of Lomé. I would hope the leaders, probably Dimitri. Mm-hmm. If I was to hazard a guess, the guy in charge of most mages and all the types of arcana around here, I would assume he probably knows something.
Makes sense.
Probably not Shaza. I
don't know if Shaza wants to see me right now.
Yeah, you tried your best, honey, and you saved Tara.
I fucked up, Mom.
You saved Tara. So I'm grateful. You even saved the asshole, and I'm very grateful for that. I don't want to be married to him anymore.
He is an asshole, but he was coming to check on us.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to garner any goodwill here. You are much happier without him, and I can tell that. But he was coming to check on us, and I appreciate that. And I'm glad he's all right.
I am too. You don't need to tell him that, but I am too.
That'll stay between us and Jonah. But I think he's got his head so deep in a book he didn't hear any of it.
Yeah, he's just reading.
Yep. Don't worry about it, Jonah.
Okay.
All right. I should go try to find my friends. The bugbear you met. Did you meet the bugbear? I did not meet the bugbear. There's a bugbear I'm traveling with who might know a little bit more about this.
I did meet a bugbear. If I recall, he was one of the people who were getting you intoxicated at Hannibal's.
Right. Forgot about that.
Yeah, you would have forgotten about that.
The original party animals, these bugbears.
I just hear that in my head, despite the fact that he's not there. I'm like, well, he's actually a fairly good researcher compared to me and knows a lot about his tribe's lore. So I think if it's all right with you, I'd like to take this journal with me.
Of course, it's always.
I'm going to go back to Hannibal. Hannibal? Is he related to Giselle? Is Hannibal?
Yes, Hannibal is Giselle's uncle. I mean, obviously he's too young. He's too young to be the Hannibal from the story, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Right.
I am. That's curious. I mean, who knows? There might be some connection.
Well, that's another thing to ask when I get back there, I guess.
Okay, well, good luck.
Thanks, Mom. Thank you. This is really helpful. I'll see you soon, okay?
Okay. She gives you like a big hug, and when Jonah gets up from his book and even kind of adds to the family hug dynamic.
Oh.
And good luck.
Thank you.
Okay. And in the meantime, as you guys are cleaning up and helping, you eventually get the long table out the back and you mop up all the slop, and you guys look back and you're actually pretty proud of your work. It looks like an empty tavern. All the broken glass is taken up. All the damaged tables are been moved out. The broken glass has been moved. It looks barren, but it seems like you have a place. And that's when Saga walks in when all the work is done. So
yeah, I'm standing there. I'm shaking everyone's hands the way volunteers do, where you like grab around their hand and you go like that. I'm like, thank you, thank you.
What kind of volunteering have you done? I'm real curious, just based on your descriptions here.
built a church once.
Good for you.
Anyhow.
You guys all convene at Hannibal's, a very empty tavern entrance of Hannibal's, but much cleaner.
I'm glad you could join us there, Saga.
I'm going to look at Saga and give a pensive smile and then make my way over to the bar and try and get a beer.
You want a beer, sweetheart?
Yes, please.
She goes. This one's on me. Thank you for cleaning up the piss.
Not a problem.
Give me a constitution check for that beer.
Damn, that sip gonna put me out. Not like that one, a sip, bro. Damn, bro. I drink, dude. I hit the drink and do well one time, and Eric's like, nah, nah, not on my watch. We got a 9, so
It's a sip. Don't worry. You're not downing it. Don't worry. I was going for the natty one, so don't worry.
It's all head.
honestly, I could have got a 20. Who knows?
So, and you guys see Connor just kind of walking off and having a beer. And what would you like to do?
I'm just kind of bracing myself because I am fully expecting to be yelled at. So I'm just kind of sitting there, looking real uncomfortable and being quiet.
Okay. Guys all hanging out at Hannibal's for a while?
I'm gonna lean over my shoulder and say, Jago, you gonna do the mile obstacle tonight?
Yeah, I'll have to do that, so I'm gonna have to hold off on the drinking. Even
Just so
though
you
we
know.
are the original party animals.
Just so you know, a friend of ours decided that he actually will compete after all. One of the favorites, Zool, our buddy the Druid, is going to be there, so good luck.
Well, I've got to do what I've got to do.
I'll be in the stands, so, you know, for what it's worth.
Well, I hope you'll be cheering me on and not Zool, because we are better friends. I hope.
I'll be there.
I'm just going to take another sip.
Jago, before you start getting ready for that, I went by my mother's, got a lot of information about the man that we fought, and I have some questions for you because it's related to Zulu, to the bugbear from your tribe that we've been looking into information from. The man who fought us, the man in the mask, his name is Tesona. He is my ancestor, and almost 130, 40 years ago, he was a member of a group called the Guardians of Lomé, who banded together to hunt down the avatar of a god called Awa Corte. He should have died 130 years ago. I don't know how he's still alive. I don't know what sort of force is making him do this, but it's a start. We have a name, we have an identity.
I think the
This
magic.
is weird. This is really weird.
I think the magic surrounding the hemoglobin doesn't rule out necromancy. And
You know why he would want it?
don't know. This Awa Corte, mate, seems what evil. And can I take a look at that journal?
Yeah, of course. What
Yeah.
are you looking for?
Let's see.
You see the bugbear pull out these random large glasses that completely.
Let me take a look there. And
All right, so I'm gonna hand him the journal. I'm gonna go. I found this at my mother's house. It's my ancestor's journal. Please look through. He mentioned Zulu a couple of times. There's even, I flipped to the front and I say, "See, there's a picture of all of them here. There he is." And I point to the bugbear.
I want to look at that, and So I want to use that grim psychometry feature again and make that intelligence check to recall information about a darker past surrounding an object you're touching.
Mhm.
Yeah, and give me advantage on the roll.
And that's
Just to give me advantage on the history check.
Go for it. And what specifically are you looking for in this journal? What?
Just sort of its connection to, just like Awa Corte and sort of the magic that would connect that. I just want to read sort of the type of magic that is being used, like surrounding him, you know?
Okay. Go ahead and roll with advantage.
Thank God. 17.
17. What's up?
Sorry, I wanted to roll if I had any intelligence on this as well, because
if you want to help.
Yeah, my religion is +4, and it gives me like special, with the ability to recall lore about practices of special cults, holy symbols, religious hierarchies, rites, deities, and prayers.
Okay. There you go. Use those traits. Use those features. Go ahead. Give me another roll. Give me a roll.
He's not only good for punching, ladies, gentlemen, and non-binary folks.
I rolled a 13.
13? And was that, were you rolling for religion?
Yeah, I actually rolled worse than I thought I would. But...
All right. All right. Well, you guys are all helping out. You all the collective roles as you kind of focus in, looking at the little streams of dark magic that connects every single object, and you even feel a familiar peen of the hemoglobin that kind of surrounds the aura of the journal, but very, very faint. Not like it's here, but it seemed like it was close to it at one point. And you start searching through, and you come across a whole section of Zulu. And again, to Sona's words, I can only imagine the kind of trouble Zulu will be in. I don't think he cares anymore. After what happened to Hannibal's family, I don't think he cares much about tradition. He said he was going to get us something to stop Awa Corte, and he did. I don't know what this hemoglobin can do, but he seems confident that it can stop him. I don't know if this is the right way. He might be bringing war upon us with his own tribe, but apparently him and Kadi are very confident that they left no trace. And when I look at that thing, I just get this feeling of terror. Zulu's plan is dangerous. He says we can trap him in this thing, but first we have to kill him. We have to destroy his body. That is not an easy task. But he says that we can break him enough. He'll be weakened, and he can use the hemoglobin to trap him. I don't see how we can fight him and win and all survive. This is the best plan we have. We'll find him. Last I checked, I think he's doing another temple initiation. The last initiation killed 50 people. We're not letting that happen again. We head out tomorrow. And that's where that chapter ends.
So I'll relay this information to everybody, of course. I'll say
Oh, what else does it say? Did they defeat him? Keep going.
All right, I'll roll to read more.
Go ahead. Let's see.
I'll help at this point because
Everyone,
I'm
give me the rolls. Let's do some collective rolls. Again, if you're using your feet, you can roll with advantage.
13.
I'm gonna push my stool away from the bar and come over with my beer, and I'm just gonna peer over everybody's shoulder, and I'm gonna
give me a dexterity saving throw. as you're peering over the journal, beer in hand.
Oh my god, my mom's gonna kill me if you spill beer on this journal. Don't you dare, Connor.
17.
17. You like, okay. No one noticed. No one noticed.
All right, I'm gonna lean in and I'm gonna throw my history information, my knowledge at it.
Go for it.
That is a 18.
18. What we got, Jago?
Oh, mine 14.
14. Arcanus.
13.
Saga.
13 as well.
13. Yeah, average. With the
I love that
18.
that voice was just expecting Saga to be the weak link.
So I lean over and I'm like, what about that bit right there? You guys missed that one.
And
We did.
And I move my like big thumb, and it's a paragraph underneath my thumb. Yeah.
as you're like, oh, that massive chapter that we completely forgot.
Oh, the boy who lived.
I'm gonna make my way back to the. I'll make my way back to the bar, still listening. And I'm gonna sit back down and nurse my drink.
Okay. As you read over this section, this seems like it's taking place almost a couple months after he initially wrote that we're heading out tomorrow. And it's Hannibal was a good man. He hard, crude, and didn't care much for attention. But he would not sit idly by when he saw innocents die. He fought well. I'm alive because of him. I felt nothing when we buried him. I just felt hollow. He left no one. Awa killed his whole family. But he did save a good amount of people. The lovely potion lady, she even said she was going to name her son after him and try to keep that name strong in her line. Zulu, my dearest friend. His plan worked. He didn't say how much blood was needed. He just said he was willing to give it his all. He did. When we buried him, it wasn't like when we buried Hannibal, and it wasn't like how I buried any of my older friends. He felt hollow. Like I was burying a husk. He said he was giving everything he had. He did. What's left of the council has helped me divide the hemoglobin. They insisted that they would help hide it, but I am not going to let them do that. You don't get to sit on the sidelines this whole time and then decide what the most dangerous item should be used for. I'll find people to guard it. I'll spread it around and pray to God no one finds it. I just get this feeling that we're not done. But he's gone. And I'm gonna ask Sapphire to marry me. And it stops right there.
What a cliffhanger.
I'm gonna take out the ring and I'm gonna go, well, that explains this.
You look around, and literally the next chapter is years later, talking about his firstborn, and it's this incredible joy, limitations. It seems like he noticeably does not write where he hid the hemoglobin, the pieces of the hemoglobin.
Well, it seems to me we need to figure out the rest of the pieces of the hemoglobin, put it together, somehow kill Awa Corte, and also win the obstacle race.
Yes to the obstacle race. We could all use that, I think, after the couple of days we've had. But I don't fully understand the hemoglobin yet. Jago, I know that this is an artifact from your tribe. Is what you had in your possession the entirety of it? Or is that only a part of it? What was stolen by Tasona?
So if I look back through my notes, this is only 2 pieces of it. That the amulet and the orb. There are, I believe, 3 other parts of the map that I can feel it on, because I have a feature, because I am a... Where is it? Something that lets me like just recall like maps and locations. I think it's like my background. Let me check. But I can remember, I can recall like my surrounding areas. But yeah, I know there's 3 other locations or areas on the map where I can sense where the hemoglobin's gotta go. I just gotta, I guess, I just gotta sense it.
Okay. As for killing Awa Corte, Jago, he killed half the Guardians. Are we up to that? Zulu sacrificed himself for that. Are you ready to make that same sacrifice? I don't know if we're the group for this.
So I'm gonna slam my tankard a little bit, take another drink. That doesn't sound like the Saga I know.
I think I'd rather people look up at a marble statue of myself and tell that story than anything else.
We were talking about punching somebody, right? Force them down.
I think it's good.
Let's do it.
I just got 3 people killed in what should have been a really easy mission. And now we want to do something that's going to put the fate of the entire island on our shoulders?
So you think it's better just to
I
let
don't
everybody
trust
die?
myself with that.
I think I'd rather the deaths stop at 3, if we can.
Agreed.
Don't make the people that you feel bad about die in vain.
And just then, you hear, "Who's dying in vain?" And you turn around and you see Zul, who has come up. "I wanted to take you up on that drink."
So I smile for the first time in a long while, and I pat on the stool next to me, and I say, "For you, my friend, 2." And I...
Giselle walks over.
Are you trying to get him drunk before the event tonight?
And you see Zul. He seems like he's
Not in character.
nursing his drink. He's sipping at it, but he's nursing it. Takes it like a champ. And
Works.
yeah. So, what were you talking about?
Well, it seems, friend, that we've come into a bigger plot than anticipated. Everyone who's on this island's life is at stake, and so I'm drinking the night away and getting ready to watch people ride horses.
Sounds dangerous.
What do you know of the Guardians of Lomé?
No, I've never heard of them. Sounds no disrespect, but it sounds like that is more of a tiefling village tale. I am from the Hardened Shell, northeast from here. Do not know much.
I have been.
What else do you know?
In your region,
I want to insight check him just to see if I'm getting anything besides curiosity or like desire to protect the island off of him. That's a nat 1. He seems legit to me.
also, was there a druid in the Guardians of Lomé? Like, what were the 5 again?
You didn't read anything about a class or skill.
I didn't.
We got races. There was an elf.
Mm-hmm. There was the elf Karina, the human Hannibal, the bugbear Zulu, tiefling warrior who you guys know as Tisona, and another tiefling who you don't really know much about, Sapphire. As far as classes of their skill set, the only thing that you've gleaned is most likely Karina was some type of rogue, as he's mentioned her thievery abilities.
Yeah, can I do sort of peruse the journal to sort of see about how these people use their magic together, sort of try to glean what magic orders interactions, sort of glean what their classes might have been, you know?
You can do it. That's gonna be a high DC because you're trying to find some specific thing. So go ahead.
It's be specific for sure. But it feels helpful at this moment.
Yeah, go ahead and give me an insight check, Saga.
And did you want investigation?
I did it.
History?
It was a nat 1.
Nat 1? Oh yeah, nothing.
Seems legit.
Investigation. As you're like kind of scrolling through this tome, trying to find those names over and over again. And
17.
17. You do come across you came across one part of Hannibal, talking about Hannibal and Tisona reading about how often they sparred, and and it's like, I thought I had him. Thought this was the day I can finally best Hannah. Even got him disarmed. Then he punched me in the face about 50 times, and I woke up later. I personally don't think it's fair for a man that size to know how to punch that fast. You flip over, you come across, you flip like a couple years, start going back, and you come across Karina. I have lived here all my life. I'm usually much more wary of travelers, especially people who are new to Lomé. The young elf seemed like a reasonable, kind young lady. Then when I realized I had no more coin in my pocket and somehow she has taken my watch, I realized she was more than she had let on. My pal Sulu has decided we were going to track her down. I wonder how this will go. We tracked her down to the Jagged Forest. Apparently she has a hideout there. We'll see how it goes. And that's what you gleaned. So it seems like maybe Hannibal, some type of monk. And again, reassurance of Kadi being some type of rogue, and you've already personally fought Tisona.
It's true. Where is the Jagged Forest? Have we been there?
Not.
Can we go there?
Saga can give me a history check.
Yeah, I can. Nat 20 for a total of probably 20. Yeah, total of 20.
20. Nat 20. You do know the Jagged Forest. It is sort of a dangerous spot. After Onan had did what Onan did, a lot of the game had kind of migrated further north. So the only way to get to the Jagged Forest was a very roundabout way of going, either going through the mountains or going all the way around the mountain or taking boat to get to that side. It's deadly, as a lot of predators now make that their home. It's kind of a wicked place, but people still go there. It's just not advised.
So I relayed that information, and then I go, I'm sorry, Zul, we got cut off mid-sentence. What I was trying to say was that the Guardians were a group of people from Lomé who banded together to fight an evil god who threatened the island 150 or so years ago. You'd think that would no longer be relevant, but there have been some strange happenings when we took back Father's Resolve. And I'm not entirely sure that it's not maybe connected to them.
Just then, you see entering into the room a variety of soldiers. This time, accompanied by a mage. And they're walking around, they're looking around. They see you got your group, and the mage walks up to you. Pardon me. Are you the heroes of Father's Resolve?
Hero is a strong word, but yes, we are the ones who defeated Old Man.
They called me a lot of things.
Very well. Your presence has been required. Dimitri is requesting your presence.
When and where?
Shaz's Keep.
He's a little magic boy. Can he just poke me there?
He just stares at you.
When would he like to see us?
Now.
Now? Very well.
Right now.
All right. I go, we shall go. And then I look at Zul and I go, it is rude to not finish your beer when it is bought for you. And then I turn around.
Zul obliges. He... See you at the race. Try not to get thrown in prison.
I just kind of give him a...
Wouldn't be the first
Not
time
so
I've been to
sure.
prison,
I think that
mate.
might be where we're heading.
And
I'm gonna just pat Zul on the back as I walk and follow the group out.
okay.
I look at you guys and I just go, guys, no one has ever been arrested after being addressed as the hero of a place.
Like, no, but many heroes have been killed.
You all right?
A super audible, like cartoon style gulp from Saga. That's really what happens right there.
Scooby-Doo style.
Already.
But I look to the soldiers and the mage and I go, so are you to escort us, or are we free to make our way there alone? What is... May I ask?
We will escort you.
Very well, then please lead the way.
And they very closely walk side by side.
Are they doing that dumb bouncer thing where they like grab you by like the part
No.
right here? And I'm like, hey.
No, they're giving you but they're doing the whole like holding the door open, like follow, and like making sure you guys kind of they're not being rude, but there is a sense of, you know, authority that they're trying to project on you. And as you guys are led out, you're approaching and you see the captain of the guard, Alicia. She's standing, and as you guys approach, she doesn't say any words to her. She just turns around and begins walking towards Shaz's Keep. Guys, go along, passing the familiar statues. You keep going. You pass Kavir's Emporium. One of the windows was shattered in. You see those stone golems that you guys saw very mobile last time, now back in their position, standing right next to the doors. And no one in. Seems like the store is closed for now, as is the library. The streets have emptied out quite a bit. You start seeing, but you do see a few people making the path in kind of the direction of Shaz's Keep, a little path that kind of goes off to the right, where you see like this long winding road. But as you look further on, you start seeing little flags placed along a path, which you assume is the mounted obstacle course, at least some of the viewing platforms of it. And as you guys walk, you are back to the very familiar keep that is now doors wide open. And as you guys walk through in the courtyard, see Dimitri. Just in case you have forgotten what this man looks like, I will add him once
Do he-
again.
Does he have a dump truck ass?
Oh my gosh.
Give me
Yeah. Give me a perception. No.
17.
17. Hard to tell from the cloak, but there is a little, there's a little curvature, a little curvature. Seems like he's very
Why?
toned under that robe. The robe is very, thick, but it seems like he's very toned. Good looking man. It's a good looking man.
Looking thick in a sundress.
You see Dimitri, very monotone face. Next to him is also a familiar orc shaman. Baku kind of crouches over as he peers at you guys as you walk up. Dimitri follows. Thank you for making time. Now, I asked you earlier how you killed old Nan. Why don't you tell me this again? What caused her to have so much power?
If I say the name Awa Corte, what does that do to you?
He stares at you. And he looks over at Baku. Baku looks at him. They kind of just have this long stare. Well, Awa Corte. That's a name that no one's heard of in a while. That's a terrifying avatar, man. This side, he's one step away from true divinity. Powerful necromancer. Worship Talona. Head priest of her church. He got more power with the dead. People would come to praise her, finding themselves poisoned, their life drained, added to his army. He took power with every life until he was stopped. Not much research on how. Our scholars don't write much about him. There's some writings of guardians, but little detail. They seem like they were fairly private. Are you saying Awa Corte has returned?
Oh. So you're telling me that we used a public library and found more information than your scholars?
I elbow him. In character, I elbow him.
Sorry. Yes, we are saying that we think our confidence returned.
Now, how?
We believe he... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
How?
When Old Nan died, a man appeared. I recognized him as being somehow related to Talona from having grown up on this island, from knowing its legends. Something told me that this is what I needed to start researching. As I did more, I learned of his powers and of his quest for dominion over the island. And it has led me to believe that he may have been the source of Old Nan's power, and that he may be back and seeking some sort of a resurgence once again. I swear that I did not keep this from you when we met you on the road. It has taken me days of research to arrive at this idea, and even now, frankly, I'm unsure.
All right. He looks over. He looks at you. He believes you. He looks over. Last we spoke, your companions seemed like they were giving you many stares. Tell me, do you have more to add? Is there something else to tell us that we can help?
Can I insight check him and see if there's any sort of underlying motive here?
Yeah, I want to do one too
That's not
because I don't like the
great.
way I'm being grilled.
It's an 11 for me.
Okay. Hard to read for you, Saga. Very hard to read.
I got a
I'm
7.
intimidated. He's the elder of the island I grew up on.
Again, you definitely feel power out of him. You definitely consider like a guy like him could theoretically, use your hemoglobin for his own nefarious means. Would he use it for nefarious means? He's hard to read. He's hard to read. Gut? Maybe not. Maybe. But again, when you're dealing with a leader of the island, he's clearly a powerful mage, and he's in charge of all these other mages. So you're just not sure.
Hey man, you've read all magic books. You know how it goes. Pieces of many come together to create something that we can use to sort of entrap him. It's sort of the same sort of situation here. So that's what we've deduced, is that there are objects on this island that could help trap him.
This island is very old. There's a variety of magical artifacts that have come and gone, and warriors with ancient blades and tails. Can you be more specific? You are muted, Connor.
I was trying to insight check him too.
Oh yeah, go ahead. Insight.
I was like, everyone's ignoring me this time.
Oh
I got 24.
24.
no! Oh dang!
Go ahead, Larcanus. Give me that insight check.
13. I keep rolling 13s. Jeez.
Larcanus, hard to read. He's just hard to read. Connor, you are very familiar with this kind of type. His standoffness, his demeanor, it's more of a matter. It seems like he's bred that way to exert a level of dominance.
Ooh, is he a big softie?
No, but he does look like a guy who's had to try to intimidate orcs for most of his life. So that's what gives him this whole "don't fuck with me" attitude. But as far as his intention, he seems sincere.
Cool. So I'm gonna kind of step out of the background a little bit. Dimitri, if I may. We know as much as we know, but I know that Saga here, our librarian barbarian, has been working very hard with her brother at the library to discern as much information as possible. I believe that she's left him to the task to continue. He knows a lot more than we do because we're only kind of gleaning what is coming from the text. But what we do know is that we are all in imminent danger. And the hemoglobin is the only tool that we know of that could take out this demon that's going to continue to plague the island of Lomé if we don't take him down. Now, I don't know if the task is to fall to us or someone else. I suppose you, in the position of your stature, would be the one to decide something of that type. And given our past record, perhaps we're not the ones. However, I do know this. This is not a problem that you'll be able to leave to the wayside and ignore. It will come to your doorstep one way or another.
Give me a persuasion check.
It's 17.
17. He kind of looks over at you, unamused, but Baku, the shaman orc, walks up. Hemoglobin. Did you see it?
Yes. We all saw it, not knowing what it was.
And noticing that Connor is becoming more forthright and sort of trusting his instincts, I go, there is another element to this. The guardians that you spoke of, Dimitri, one of them was my ancestor, a man named Tasona. He is back, I believe. I am unsure of how, but he appears to be in the thrall of some sort of dark power. He is the man who attempted to assassinate Shaza the other night, despite the fact that he himself died 130 years ago.
We
Believe him to be...
So we believe Awa Corte is waking up all of the old guardians to make him do his video. I do. It's what no, that's what he's doing though.
I hadn't put that together out of character yet, so...
Heavy necromancy,
figuring it out.
we've encountered 2 of them. They're under his control. We still have to go to 3 other pieces here, out of character.
Also, in character, Jago, I don't recall you ever informing us of the internal conversations happening between the tiefling demon and our big baddie guy. So we have no idea what the fuck you're talking about.
Well, as far as I know,
haven't shared
Dimitri,
any
I
of that
believe he was
info.
seeking the pieces of this artifact.
No, but I
My
shared the...
colleague here might have other thoughts.
Well, here's
Is
the, it is
the
actually
big reveal?
Jago knowing that just the internal monologues that he's heard, knowing that you're dealing with a necromantic god, and the guy who killed him is back. It's not a far-fetched assumption, just to give Jago a little bit of defense. It's not a far-fetched reasoning considering what you guys have experienced. And
Also, none of that info would have been gleaned from the internal monologues. That was all info shared.
Oh, I'm not
Don't worry
accusing you of metagaming or anything. I just literally hadn't put that together out of character enough for Saga to have even considered it in character.
Yeah, same here. I was just saying, I'm in the dark. I'm so clueless. I didn't.
I play characters with int as their dump stat for a reason.
Yeah. And my character doesn't do any magic, so he's just like, hey man, I'm just punching stuff, so I'm unaffected by the information.
Baku approaches you, Jago, looks up at you. Powerful magic. Powerful necromancy. Someone of that. The stories about Awa Corte said he was near ascension. Someone of that magnitude. Destroying their body wouldn't necessarily end them. Only delay. It is possible. A cruel way of returning, forcing his own killers to serve him. Dark magic. It's possible. He looks over at Dimitri, and they again do this kind of conversation, but quiet.
And I go, now that we've shared our information on the Guardians, I would like, in exchange, whatever you guys have on them.
Dimitri, go ahead, give me a persuasion check.
Here's the low rolls. 6.
6. Dimitri looks over at Baku, looks back. Where's the hemoglobin now? Or at least the pieces of it that you have already encountered. Do you still have it?
They are in the possession of Tasona. He stole them the night that the assassination attempt on Shaz's life took place.
And the only piece So the piece you came across was the one old Nan had. So Chisona has old Nan's piece. What's your brother's name? And he looks over at you, Saga. The one who is, that you said has the research.
Jonah, sir. He works at the library.
And he kind of nods, and you see a guard walk off.
We need to send some protection for him.
There's another. We understand that Frollo was part of the assassination attempt.
He had in his possession the hemoglobin, a big chunk of the hemoglobin.
It is my understanding that Chisona offered his services to Frollo in exchange for his piece of the hemoglobin. So my understanding is that he has the piece from Old Nan and the piece from Frollo.
Yes. We raided his warehouse that's here. He has another on the other side of the island by Orc territory. Frollo is gone. So, stands the reason he might have another piece. I've also said, just so you know, I've sent God to collect your other brother, Damien. He's a known associate of Frollo, and he has some questions. We will take your assistance and his forthcoming into consideration for his punishment. But he is a known drug dealer and a part of the organization that attempted a coup.
Yes, Dimitri.
I mean, if he hadn't
He
warned us,
will be
the coup would
forthcoming.
have succeeded.
I would like to add that my brother, as the coup and the assassination attempt were about to take place, risked his life by taking the piece of the hemoglobin and seeking me out in order to protect it and in order to warn us so that we may protect Shaza. The advance warning that we had was thanks to my brother. I know that this does not erase his actions, but I do hope that you will consider the fact that he is young and, like many of us on this island, has not necessarily had the chance to learn the proper way to comport himself or to make a living as he should. And I hope that you will consider that. And should leniency be allowed, I will keeping a much closer eye on him and ensuring that he does not partake in such activities again.
Give me a persuasion check.
Oh boy. Alright. 16.
16? He nods. We will take that into consideration.
Thank you, Dimitri.
Well, you're welcome. We have a piece of the hemoglobin. It's stored in Shaza's vault. So, it's safe. Which means there are a few other pieces. We have a word out. We'll send word. See if we can track down Chisona. I doubt he is anywhere amongst the city. If he is returned, I doubt he needs much of sleep or food. And there's plenty of places someone can hide. I do not know where the other pieces of the hemoglobin are. I imagine that's going to be a task that my men will seek out. You are more than welcome to assist. And when all the pieces are together, we will put them under our guard. I do not know if collecting the pieces or keeping them separate would aid or hinder Awa Corte's plans. There's much we need to understand about the magic that put him in there.
I am myself unsure as well. I'm not skilled with magic by any stretch of the imagination. However, I did learn in my research that the Guardians were able to use the hemoglobe. I believe as you've said, there's very little written on the subject, but I believe that they were trying to destroy Awa Corte's body and imprison him within the hemoglobe, or to use its essence for him in some way. And I am unsure. I wonder if putting the pieces back together would allow us to do the same. But if he is sending people to seek out the pieces, I wonder if there's some other end he has in mind. I offer you this information with nothing more, simply because I am unsure of what it means myself.
Well, if you are able to find more pieces, bring them here. Anything else that you can find, bring them here. Frollo's connected. He had a lot of palms greased before he attempted this coup. The reasoning for it is still unsure. But if he holds another piece of this, then we might need to give him a visit. However, going to that territory is always problematic. That's Aztec's land. And he has not been as forthcoming with the peace. We will let you know more as we gain more knowledge. Until then, good luck. We will speak to you next time we meet. Next time we need you. And
We will be ready. Thank you.
And him and Baku turn and walk away. The guards kind of hold their arm out, kind of ushering you outside of Shaz's keep. And at this point, it's getting darker, and you start seeing that it's starting to reach dusk. And you see the crowds have all kind of started going up, further up the mountainside towards the east bank. Going up. You see a few carriages coming around. And where would you like to go?
I think I have to get ready for the obstacle course, right?
It's around that time.
You have a race to ride.
I'm gonna go do that.
Okay. Seems like that's the path that everyone's walking. As you
Saga's gonna tag along while I run to the restroom.
Okay. Actually, we can do our 10-minute break right now. I was gonna wait until 12, but we can do it. Are you guys up for a 10-minute break?
That's good timing. Yeah, let's take a tenner. We'll come right back.
See you guys back at 11:47.
Perfect.
That was weird.
Nailed it. I'm still learning how to use OBS remotely. It's hard to. I'm not in the room where the computer is that's streaming. Hello, everybody. We're back.
Hey,
Time for
everyone.
obstacle courses.
All right, everyone. Well, welcome back to the Lomé games. We last left our crew on the path to the mounted obstacle course, which seems to be a trail going further and further up the mountain. So you're now on this windy path, passing Shaza's Keep, and now trailing up the mountain. You start seeing some of the paths peer off. You do notice a much wider path, seems like where the tracks are, and right next to it you see some staples, where you see some mounts that are kind of just at weight. More people kind of filling out. It's fairly well done. You know, it seems like there's been kind of a lot of spots. You guys having shown up around the time for the actual race, not a whole lot of empty spots anymore. Seems like after what happened, people need a distraction. So the entire this is packed. You just is now like you ever like right before you go into a football game, and the massive crowds of people kind of splintering off, finding places, just finding a spot to look toward the other end of the mountain, looking downward. It seems like that's the viewpoint. It seems like the race starts up on top of the mountain and you are riding down. So you're on this kind of opposite hillside that kind of peers over to where the area is. Now you see as you look further into the jagged mountainside, where you see now only a few people going. It seems like, but those people seem like they're officials. You see some people, they're way off in the distance and they're walking their mounts to the area. So that seems like where the contestants are going, and this is the general area where people are viewing it.
Cool. I'm gonna start heading to where the contestants go, sort of get ready for more little events here.
And I think that
good
we're
luck,
gonna.
Jago. Ride
Good
fast.
luck. We're gonna go
Got
find some
this, man.
seats.
Go find seats. If you could cheat from me for the audience, don't do it. But if you see anyone else cheating,
Connor hides his Go Zool banner behind his back.
I'm gonna do a perception check.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna do a deception check.
Yeah, go ahead. Well, you're telling me you have something. You have something physical that you want him not to see. So I need a sleight of hand check. And it's gonna match
sleight of
his
hand.
It's going to be a sleight of hand matching his perception.
14.
I rolled a 2. I got a 4.
4.
Yeah.
You had a little bit of parchment earlier, and it's a very crude drawing. Like there's no way he can see it, but you had written in a simple like "Go Zool," and you attempted to go, or did you? What language did you go? Did you try to do it Orcish, or did you?
Nah, we
Common.
kept it English.
Kept in common. And you
Common
tried-
time.
Yeah. So it's not that good, but you don't need to see that. That's cool. And people notice, and you're like, "Oh, my team got my back. They got you. They're rooting for you the whole way."
There was a campaign me and Eric were in once where he was the captain of a ship, and I started an insurrection called the Fist, and it was the DM let me every session put up posters that were just a fist like this,
Yeah.
until eventually they were just mine.
Yeah, that was fun. All that work. I remember that well. Thank you for the reminder. I don't know how I'll
I'd like to
repay you.
insight check Eric calling that fine.
It doesn't matter what you roll. It wasn't fine. All right.
There we go. Yeah, my passive insight is high enough to know it's not.
Arrested Development voice. It wasn't fine.
Yeah. But anyway, those are the paths, and now I'm your DM. We'll see how this goes for you. So we are.
I shouldn't have.
Thank you for the reminder. Hold on, let me roll
Yeah.
D6 for fucked up
Hey
damage.
DM, remember that time I bullied you in D&D?
I do. I do. How you like those headaches?
Suddenly the DC for all your skill checks.
How do you
are
like those
getting-
headaches that randomly come for Jago? You like those? Anyway, back on track. Back on track.
Wow.
You guys now. So the rest of the group, are you guys gonna walk with him, or are you gonna try to find a spot?
I'm gonna try to find a spot.
Okay. Give me a perception check. We'll see how good you are at finding like the spots in the parade at Disneyland.
Yeah.
23.
23. Okay.
14.
14.
Oh, 4.
4. Okay.
You guys all gonna sit in different spots?
This is what you see. What you see, Saga. You found the spot. You found the perfect spot.
Ooh.
It's right at the corner, but there's only room for one, and your friends do not notice it. It's like this family. There was these 2 families that were there, and then you seem like they kind of arranged their stuff. They have like a little basket of food, so they kind of crouched in, which left like a little opening. That's right. You're at the top of the hill, so you get a good viewpoint. No one's noticed it. Connor, you see one spot. It's further down. It looks like it's big enough for all 3 of you guys to be there. Like it's not the most comfortable, and there's a little tree that blocks half the path, so you feel like you only get some of the action before it kind of veers off. And Arcanus, there's a lot of people here.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people here. Hey, is that a guy selling? And you see a guy holding, like, you just noticed there's a guy with a cart. Like, okay, I got meats right here. I got some meats, like turkey leg, and I got some nice grilled turkey leg. So that's what you notice.
It's your opportunity to suck on a chili dog, bro.
What do you guys do?
I guess me.
So
I'm
gonna
not gonna leave my friends.
You're good. You're a good person.
It'd be a real dick move.
I'm gonna go up to like a really nice spot that I see, and I'm gonna lean into the people that are sitting there, and I'm gonna say, "Hello, you may recognize us from such conquest as rescuing Father's Resolve. We're the heroes of Lomé, and we would very much like to have your seats if you would be so kind as to allow us to have them. I did see some seats just down yonder, not quite as beautiful as yours, but we're heroes after all. What do you say?"
Give me persuasion or deception. I don't know how much of this you believe yourself.
Give me a Phil Hartman check.
Well, no matter what it is, I rolled like dog shit. So here we go. That's a.
You see them, they stretch, they almost like they stretch out their legs more, and they're just eating their turkey legs.
You make a check.
Like, oh, yeah, Father's Resolve heroes, yeah. I have you dying in the 3rd round, so good luck with that.
All right, you guys have a good one.
Yeah.
I did my best.
Yeah, I don't know if you noticed. And they get up, and as they get up, you see they all have like these little wooden statuettes. They're like little whittled down, and they're all chickens. They're like little whittled down. They look like a chicken, and they're all wrapped around necks. We're Team Barrett over here, so you guys can go right the hell and fuck off, because this is that side of the town. I don't know about you. This guy don't go give away my seat. Fucking asshole. Man, this fucking guy.
Yeah, as he does that, I take the nice spot I saw.
I'm looking around for Saga. I have no idea where she is.
Give me a stealth check.
Connor's
Hey,
like,
guys, I did my
my
best.
barbarian friend will tell you.
I'm eating chicken over there. I'm over there getting turkey legs.
6? Yeah, 6.
Sucking on a chili dog.
6. So here's the thing. The only person who would have noticed it is Connor, and he's getting chewed out by the crew. So you see in the corner of your eye, you see her move from somewhere. You don't know where she's like, oh, maybe she's coming to back me up. And then she's gone.
She's not.
She's not there. You're like, wait, is that her over there? And you don't see her, and you lose her. Arcanus.
What I will do though is I will really politely to the family next to me, like, oh, you guys look like you have such a nice picnic. This is really lovely. I am here with a couple of friends, and I was wondering if we might be able to scooch over just a little bit so we can fit 2 more people. They're not that big, I promise.
Give me a persuasion check.
Nat 20, baby.
Oh.
I'm coming through with the nat 20s on skill checks. That's a total of 20.
20. They're like, yeah. And they talk over. Hey, Claire, you want to? You guys squeeze in. We squeeze in. Give them some space. She has some friends. How many friends?
Just 2 more.
Okay. Yeah. Come on. Go ahead.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm just gonna wave over to the guys and flag them over.
Okay. Connor, you notice.
I'm heading over.
Larcanus, they have so they have turkey leg. They seem like they have like a fried pork, but like in like this basket. It's like these little balls of fried pork that they just pop in, and we got some jugs of like little jugs of ale, but that comes with the skin, so they're a little bit pricier. And I just was like, hey man, yeah. So I got. You want some salted pork balls?
Yeah, I would love some salted pork balls.
Yeah, he looks like the type.
Worries me about salt.
Don't worry about it. That's a little joke we do around here. All right, you want some sauce? You want some Lomarian sauce with that? You want some Lomarian sauce?
That's a spicy sauce, right?
You know that's a spicy sauce. Come on, Dragonborn. You can handle your spicy.
Yes.
I do. All right.
Yes, please.
You want the beer skin? You want the beer?
No beer.
No beer. All right.
Stay
There you go. And he hands you like a real hefty amount. That'll be 5 copper, man.
5 copper. All right. I give him the 5 copper. I have that.
All right. Good job. Salted pork. Come on now, turkey legs. We got turkey legs. And you look over and you see Saga waving you guys down. She seems like she found a dope ass spot.
Nice.
Yes, yeah, got space for everybody, real politely.
I'm gonna nod in approval and say, well, Saga, the barbarian of persuasion. What can we do?
Alrighty. So you guys got yourselves all set up. You got your salted fried pork balls. Do you try the?
I'd be dangerous about the deep fried like fat and the pockets of
that
in a pork ball, you know.
Hey, not like you chop them up finely, and hey, if you've been to a fair, the food gets weird.
Hey man, y'all ever had an elephant ear?
Oh jeez.
So in the meanwhile, Jago.
Giant hanging pancake.
I can't tell if that was in character or out of character, and I'm concerned either way.
No. An elephant
you
is
have
fair
as
food.
long as I have. It's
fair food. It's like a hanging pancake. It's
yeah. Don't let him go on a tangent. Now, Jago.
A pancake tangent.
My grandparents met at a fair.
Of course. Anyway, Jago, I love you. You're like my brother. I love you. I know I have to stop you, but anyway.
All right, let's do this. Let's do this.
You're on the path. You're getting kind of tense, you know, like as you're walking, and once hearing the roaring crowd, but you've made your way off the hill, and now you go up into the actual mountainside that's starting to creep along the left end, where you can see like, oh, okay, so you're starting to see the other end of where the viewing point is. You start seeing, and as you pass, you see a much bigger track. You're like, oh, this is and you get a good look. Give me a perception check.
Natural 20.
Oh,
Good. Fuck. All right. You get some knowledge. You get some knowledge. Okay, 20, natty 20. Okay, what's that total?
Oh, well, because it's perception. Yeah. 2. So 22.
22. Okay, great roll. So you see that, okay, so you start over at the top of the mountainside. It curves in. Seems like you kind of lose sight of where the path goes from there, but then banks back around, and it seems like it's going down. It gets narrow. It gets really narrow at the dip down to where you're actually on ground level, and then you're going to the forest. It's a dense forest. Is that? I wonder if that's a jagged forest. And then it seems like you guys. It seems like you're going into the into the forest, and then way at the other end. And you see another set of the crowd that's all banked out. It's far. It's like you honestly have a hard time seeing it, but you just see this massive crowd over there. It's like, okay, I guess that's the finish line. And then on that path of the finish line, you see there's targets on each far end of it. So there seems like there's a level of archery that also goes into this. And as you're making your path, you start seeing your competition. And you see this goblin on top of a warg. This massive bestial creature on all fours, thick fur. The fur goes out to spikes, so it's like grating spikes, and you just see this goblin just chilling on top of his warg, and he's moving along. Next to him, you see a familiar female that you saw. She was actually part of Barrett's team. And you see this woman, the one you noticed with the whip, and you see her walking a very bright brown, like a kind of an amber mane, and it's a gorgeous stallion, and she's walking along, and you see Zul, and he's walking along a large wolverine, and this massive creature, wide, but it's a large version of it, and it's like enough to where he can mount it. It looks very fierce. That dark, dirty yellow fur with like a charcoal black line all the way along the back. And
Jago realizes he has no mount.
you keep walking up, and don't worry, you walk up and you see Craven, and he holds a warhorse, also alongside with a very thick golden saddle that's strung along it, very similar to the parts of his hair. And you see like there's a big stamp along the side of the saddle which has cards on there, and that's held with two hands, so Craven's crest. And you see a satchel along it too that Craven seems like he's holding, and as he's holding it's like, well, now you've come a long way from shaking me down from that boat ride.
Yeah, it's been quite a journey.
Well, all right. Then right over there, and he points to a little booth where there's a lady. She's walking over to Zul, and she's like answering questions, and she flips it over, hands him ink and quill, and he signs, and they're coming over. So like, you just sign in with her. And this, and he walks the horse over to you, gives you the reins. This is a Stormbringer. She's very powerful. She's very fast. If she gets her open space, she's very good, but she needs to trust you. So take a minute and give me an animal handling check.
Off the table. Oh, thank God. 19.
19. Okay. Very good. That's a good roll. So,
Only
what's your animal handling modifier?
2.
2? Okay. I want you to write this down. Let's see. I want to pull up the warhorse stats. Because I want to be able to make sure I give you the right number. So your warhorse dexterity is a +1, because that information will be important. Okay.
+1. All right, cool. It's in my other section on my notes.
Alrighty. So for now, you have a warhorse, and he seems like, as you guys stared into each other's eyes, he started walking along with you. Seems like he trusts you, obeys your commands. He's a very well-trained horse. And as you're kind of having this moment with her, you see the woman come up to you, a human woman. She's like, you're Jago, Craven's sponsor. I just need you to sign here. And she hands you ink and quill. Seems like there's some type of contract, and
I look at the
signature at the top.
I see the ink, I see the contract, and I take my hand and I just slap the ink with it. And
Alrighty, and she, okay, and she takes it over, and you do notice Tara walk up with no mount, and Tara walks over to you. She's like, Well, sorry, but I guess I'm not going to be able to race you
What
out.
happened?
I can't. I dropped out. I can't. Capri's startled. After that, she's skittish on everything. I'm not gonna risk her. I can't risk my girl.
Hey, I trust it. Yeah, the way you trust your animal's instincts means a lot, and it speaks to the person you are. And I have no doubt, next year, you will win.
You know, I like you. And she gives you a big old handshake. She reaches her hand out. Yeah.
And I go, oh, sorry, I had ink on my finger.
Yeah, god damn it. All right, well, good luck. Do you have a crossbow?
Oh, yes.
Okay, good. Careful. It can get kind of nuts sometimes. All right, I wish you the best. I gotta go to the other job that I agreed to do. So she walks off. You see Zul. He passes by you. He passes by you. And he just gives you a nod. And he hops on the mount. And he goes to this big patch of dirt that's kind of already at this kind of, it's already got a little incline. And as Zul kind of being the first one to just, woman comes up to him, he just signs it while he's on his mount, goes up to it. So he's the first one who's like in the crowd, and the crowd's going nuts. You see a ton of orcs, like every single orc family, and they're all zoo.
Can I do a perception check to see if I see Connor doing that?
Give me a perception check. Roll high.
Natural one.
No.
Oh no!
You look out into the crowd and you say, because you immediately notice, wow, Zul got a lot of, he just showed up, but he got a lot of love. Okay, but that's okay. I got people there for me. You feel that they got your back.
At least I got my best friend Connor.
Oh.
Zul.
I'm just kind of looking at Connor next to me, and I'm just like, nobody's telling him this, right?
I was raised by orcs. I'll tell him if I have to.
I glance at Larcanas. Nobody's telling him, right?
I will keep my mouth shut.
There we go.
Can I get a deception or persuasion check from you, Larcanus?
Oh, God.
You can say it's gonna be deception or persuasion.
He's already texting me.
Yeah, but it's a 9.
Are you bullshitting?
I'm not bullshitting.
Okay, you feel like he's being honest. You feel like he's on the
He's a Dragonborn of Honor.
And
Ironic, because Connor rhymes with honor.
you are not there. You. That's gonna be the catchphrase.
Connor rhymes not.
Connor rhymes with honor.
You see Tara walk up past the finish line, kind of and as she's walking, you see another figure, looks like a mage, and he does some signs, and you see the ground that Tara's on starts to rise. So she is a little bit more projected, and she holds this type of wand, and you see her talking, and she places it next to her throat, and now you see, like, you can hear Tara's voice booming from around, like, you guys ready for a fucking race?
It's the lineup of the 94 Bulls.
I'm really just cheering for Tara, not for any of the racers, just for her.
You see even a few people like, yo, she was the one who won last time. She's the yeah. we have here some interesting races today. You guys may have heard of him. He's the one who killed Old Nan. Give it up for the bugbear Jago. And you see Jago coming up. What do you do, man?
Oh no, I'm gonna have the crossbow in one arm, and I just want to look up at the audience like this, and just like.
Give me a performance check.
15.
15. He looks good. He knows how to his chest is out. He's holding it high, and it's like oh, yeah, people are like you get a few other fans. You get a few people who are like the undecided voters. They're giving you some love. It's not bad. It's not bad. Next up, from the goblin camps from the northwest, and you hear some jeers. I like you talk shit, but they know how to ride. Give it up for Cal Core. And you see this goblin curse up, but again, there's some goblins in the crowd, and they're jumping up, they're cheering.
I'm clapping.
Man, I'm putting my money on that fucking goblin, man. Hey guys. And
I want to make it known that I am like cheerfully applauding for everyone who comes out.
They all give you a nod as they approach. Next up, the fiercest fighter you've ever seen. Won multiple underground tournaments. Give it up for the Stallion Rider Kit. And you see this woman in the silk rose with her whip off to the side with a crossbow on the left. And she's walking around with her horse, her own version of a war horse. Now I know you guys, but we know who you guys came here to see. Hardened Shell. You see the guys are stomping. The killer of the great giant griffin and her pact. Give it up for Zool! And Zool just approaches, and the whole crowd goes just nuts. And everyone's on their feet, they're stomping.
I do another perception check to see Connor.
Go ahead.
16.
16, you fucking see him. His sword kind of side, and you just see him. He's going.
Damn.
You bear it. On your mark. Get set. Go! And you guys tear off, and you're going down the hill. You guys are neck and neck, and now you're starting to see the true. As you make that bank, going further down, doing a sharp left, where you guys are trying to look, you kind of lose them for a sec. See something that you normally don't see. You see now the mountains have jagged edges going outward. That is a little in head zone high. So you're gonna have to like duck under and bank over while the other horses are neck to neck. Give me a dexterity save with yours and the horse.
So I got a 19 for me, and then the horse has a +1 in.
So that's 20.
Yeah. So and then oh, do you want one roll for both? Because I just rolled 2
Yeah,
dice.
one roll. It's one roll.
Okay.
For both.
Okay. 19 then. Yeah.
19. Okay.
High dexterity, baby.
Yeah. And let me roll for. Ooh. For Zool. Ooh. You said 19?
Yeah, I got a 19.
Alrighty. As you guys are neck and neck, and you're going, the horse starts really finding a stride, and you're ducking right under. You're moving off to the side. You start really powering through. You're starting to leave some people in the dust, but you look off to the right, right on your tail, banks off to the right, and even starts passing you a little bit. You see Zool just. And now, what's up? What you trying to do?
I want to cast a cantrip poison spray and have it just flow behind me.
Okay, what's the Is that vernacular? Let me look at the poison. Let me look at what is that? What's the components to poison spray?
Verbal.
It's verbal. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead. Are you trying to do this without people
Extend your
noticing?
hand. Yeah, I'm gonna try to just do it without people noticing. Oh, well, if people are gonna notice a poison cloud coming from me, right?
Yeah. So, all right. It is what it is. So, what's the? So, it's a saving throw.
It is. Yeah. Constitution saving throw. It's about 1d12 or 2d12 actually.
Alrighty. So, and you're shooting it in the back, right?
Well, I was just gonna let it flow in the wind.
Okay,
Make
because
it
you got to
kinda
run
look-
pretty fast. So basically, wherever you set it off, you're gonna leave it in the dust.
Yeah, I was gonna make it try to look like a fart.
Gotcha. All right.
Yeah. If we want to make that the deception check.
Kit and Kale. You said it's a Constitution.
Yeah.
And what's the DC?
13.
13. They both fell. So we'll just.
2d12 poison. Let me grab 12s. It's a 8 poison damage.
Okay. As you put in stride and you speak your arcana knowledge and you spew it back, the poison spray just immediately envelops Kit and her war horse and envelops the goblin Kale and his warg, and they and they're powering through it. They get a good inhale of it, and so do their horses, so they stagger a little bit, but they're still on you, but it definitely pushed them back.
And let's go, whoa, don't have the fried pork balls.
You see Zul, the first time that you've seen Zul ever do this, he smiles. Oh, is that how we're playing? Oh, good. All right. As you boom, as you tear into the jagged forest, you guys are towering, like now the area is way more like you're jumping up over, like the horses got to jump over here, go cut through another tree, but it seems like it's pretty pathful. It seems like a few people have gone through here. What's so dangerous about it? And then you hear, and as you peer back, you see jumping out a large dire wolf and a pack, and they're as they're on your tail, and you see a few of them bank over, and they're going towards the people who are lagging. And I need you to make and your horse is starting to freak out and jostle around. I need you to make an animal handling check.
Off the table. Natural 1.
Natural 1.
No!
Okay.
You wasted that high roll to spot Connor.
That is true.
Okay. You and Kit immediately start, your mounts start buckling and like tossing back. You almost lose your seat, but you get it back in, and you're like, okay, come on, calm down, girl, calm down. Hey, come on, go. But the time is taking you to do all that. You have lost a lot of ground, and Zul has taken a hefty lead on you, but you are passing through the dire wolves, and you're making some stride. You're getting out of the jagged forest, and look back and you see Kit. You see Kit and the poison, and now these dire wolves, and she is enveloped, and you see her abandon her mount as you see all these different wolves tear in to the horse and move around, and she immediately darts into the forest, and you just lose sight of her. And the Kel, the goblin, he's just kind of dodging around. Even when one of the wolves try to step with him, the warg just and the wolf backs out, and he's now a little bit closer to you. But when you get your horse back, so Bazoo's made a hefty lead. You're still you're in between the two of them. You're a little bit closer to the goblin than you want to be, but you're starting to pick up your stride. And as you break through the forest. Now you're in this massive open field way out. You see the crowds, and you start seeing that must be the finish line, and you see these targets held onto each side, one to the right, another one to the left, and there's markings in it. There's a bullseye. It's like darts. And you see Zul pulling out his crossbow, and he's starting to take shots. I need you to make an attack roll with your crossbow.
Yes, baby. Oh yes, crossbow time.
All right, roll to hit.
There it is, boom. Cool. 27.
27. As you're curling up, boom, bullseye, right dead center. And as you shot that, considering Zul was the person who shot before you, you saw how his was near, almost at the sweet spot, but a little off. You got a better shot than him. But now you got to make up far left, and you see another one. You got to switch hands, or you got to try to shoot over, but you got another target coming. Give me another attack roll.
21.
21. Bullseye again. Just, you can't.
I want to, can Zul see me?
You're basically taking the second shot, so Zul's still ahead of you. You're starting to approach, but he's not. Now he's like, he shoots, and then following right afterwards is your arrow. So you're getting close to him. The race is starting to get a little tighter as you guys are finishing the line. And let me roll for him. All right. Alrighty. And what did you roll again?
You wanted me to roll again?
No. What was the roll? The one you said? You said 21? 21. Okay. All right. And again, once again, you get dead bullseye. And again, Zul's just a little bit off center. It's just a little bit off center. You got him. You just got him in accuracy. As you guys are going now, everyone's like lined up, side by side by side. Another target right above the finish line with the banner. There's a target, dead center. And you guys all go to shoot. Give me an attack roll.
It was a 21.
21. Very good.
And it's really just who crosses the finish line, right?
Well, we're going to tally everything up.
Yeah, okay. It's also a point-based situation.
It is. How well you did in each section accumulated. And what was that final attack roll?
There's another 21.
Another 21. You see Zul take the shot, and he's just way off the mark. He's way on the outskirts. Not the worst shot again, but he's more like way off to the side. It's like he just did not click in. Just this was not his best. This is just not his strength. The goblin, and you fire, and you guys both right in the dead center. You both make a perfect bullseye. You guys actually split each other's arrows because he also rolled a 21. So
nice.
And you guys passed the finish line, and who won? Give me 1 second, okay?
Oh no, map.
I know.
Yeah, we don't know what the goblin was doing behind us the whole time either.
We turn to the judges for the final tally. Please wait.
As you guys are going, you guys are like,
I'm just doing push-ups.
You guys saw as I'm tallying these numbers, like you guys are out in the court, you saw it, and people are like, who won? You guys,
I'm just cheering. I'm happy he finished and didn't get shot or eaten by dire wolves.
I lean over to Larcanus and I was like, listen, man, I know that they were both shooting. They were shooting great, but you saw Zul split an arrow. I swear that's got to be extra points, right? They got to offer extra points for a Robin Hood split. I've only read about it. That's amazing.
I don't know of this Robin Hood, but I mean,
Robin Hood?
It's quite impressive.
It's an old story about this guy who used to steal from the poor and give to the rich. My dad used to tell me all the time about it.
Sounds like a nice fellow.
He doesn't really at all. He sounds kind of horrible.
Well, I think the poor people were really rude. I don't really understand the story. My dad's an asshole.
I won't argue there.
Alrighty. As you guys get closer and closer and closer, and it's a hair. It's a hair, and you like it gets to a point where like no one knows who won. It's like, dude, it was either Zul or Jago. It was either Zul or Jago, and so it literally comes down to the accuracy because he had such a dominant lead for the whole round. But that last target shot, you recovered so well and got so many bullseyes on the targets, you got 1 extra point than Zul. And you
Yes!
Yeah. Of course I'm happy.
And I lower his hands. I lower Connor's hands.
If you would have rolled 119, like a 19, you would have lost. The fact that you got bullseyes every single step, and he messed up real. Like you guys both had a big fuck up. You know, so.
Wow.
Yeah, I have a +10 with archery.
He had an extremely high animal handling, and he's very dexterous, being who he is. So
Being a druid.
as you reach the corner and you see this other gentleman who seems like a tiefling man, the winner, Jago! And the crowd is like they're giving you love. They're like you see some guys like, fuck man, God, good for you. Yeah, good for fucking you. Hey Zoo, what the fuck, man? The second Zoo just peers over, looks down, and the guy was like, I didn't say shit, man. I don't know what to say. I don't know that guy. I don't. And you guys are like, and you see this big festival, like roses and like bright reds, and like this beautiful kind of trophy for the horse, and it's just placed around, and it just shines it makes this charcoal war horse just way more colorful in this setting. But again, Zul's given a tremendous amount of love, being very close to being the winner, and you see Andwell there. And he even walks over to Zul and gives him a hug. He's like, you did great. You did great. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. And you see Zul, he does a deep bow. Like
I walk over to Zul and I want to shake his hand.
He shakes yours. You rode great. You are expert with that crossbow.
Yeah, you learn a little thing or two when when your father kills your grandfather.
Oh yes. Sounds toxic, but you seem to power through. I'm gonna go now. He kind of jaunters off, and you see off to the side, you see a woman with a massive chest as she approaches you, and she's like, well, we had these all set out depending on who will win, and you notice and she hands you this hefty chest, and he is like, and you may keep the chest as well. And it's a beautiful decorative treasure chest that's kind of like square, stacked deep, and beautiful. And again, that very familiar. It looks just like Saga's amulet, little sign with a circle and the hook through it, sign of Lomé. And you have it there. Do you open it?
Yes.
Inside is 1,100 platinum.
Whoa, you are rich.
Whoa. That's a lot.
Dang, you can afford those dress robes now, son.
Hold on, let me get to the currency in this first aid app.
Now, one thing you did notice, because your passive perception is, if I remember, passive perception is 12. So you do notice
yes.
you notice one thing. The chest you have is smaller than the chest that one of the other, like as she said, like we had these laid out depending on who would win. You're it's a lot smaller than those other ones. And then you see the woman give another chest, Craven. And Craven's like, opens it, smiles, and he looks over to you. Well, Jago, you are excellent investment.
How much money did you make off me?
Oh, don't worry about it. This is on the benefits of you not having to worry about any type of 10,000 gold entry fee, your mount, the health and maintenance of your mount, and the stay that you have in one of the most nicest establishments, and your bags of holding and your discounts at Craven's Emporium. I believe you have made off swimmingly.
That's valid. But I will rethink the good word I put into you to your new stepdaughter.
Oh, young man, I'm already in there. And then he walks off.
Oh, I'm so glad Saga wasn't there for that.
Because he would not say that around you.
Good. We're all aware that this is awkward.
Oh, don't trust that. I write in my notes, don't trust that guy. And flip it back.
All right. The crowd is starting to disperse. People are starting to go about their day. They're like, you see some coins being exchanged. Upset people like, yo, ahead, take the goddamn money. Who the bugbear?
Hold on.
How does that
Yeah.
drag?
Oh yeah, some people definitely made out fat. But what was the amount again? I just found the currency thing on D&D.
1,100 platinum.
Okay. Dang.
Sheesh.
My dog likes that a lot.
Oh, yeah. Well, with your new tremendous
I mean, who
amount
doesn't
of
like that much platinum?
as you make your way back with the warhorse back to where you know they're ushering you away, where you start making your long trail. It's a hefty one. It's about a good couple of hours to make your way back, but you are on the path. Is there anything you would like to do while you're hanging with your warhorse, about to return it, and making your way back to the other side?
Am I able to? Do I pass the jagged forest on this trail down?
No. You guys are making a wide bank around, and then you're taking a there. And as you're going, there seems to be a variety of ships that are there for the mounts, where they can do storage and they can head. They're going to do a little longer path, and then there's some smaller riverbank boats that they have a few people kind of there waiting to row you down.
I want to just spend that time sort of trying to befriend this horse a little more.
Okay, go ahead, give me an animal handling check.
Natural 20.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
We're doing great on skill checks today, y'all.
Yeah.
Skill checks good. Everything else, no.
I think I've rolled my dice twice.
There's been some natty ones today, so.
Yeah, there's been some.
Few, but there's been a lot more nat 20s than usual, y'all.
Yeah, you guys have been rolling very high today. Good on y'all. And
Yeah, I've noticed the red dice do a lot better for me than this black dice, right?
so, oh, there you go. So, Stormbringer.
They're lucky metal dice.
I hate all my dice. I need to get new ones. So, Stormbringer is very taken with you. She even like picks her head up and lets you scratch her, and is very. The guys seems like you guys just got through the thick of it, and it seems quite smitten with you. And you get to the point where now you guys it's time for you guys to part ways. You see some handlers holding out because it's like, oh, sorry, is that Craven's the Stormbringer? We here to.
I want to see if I can sort of. Is there a way to sort of, as I'm bonding with it and it's quite taken with me, have a sort of like sound I can have with it to signal it if I ever thought it was close?
You can give me one more animal hand check, see if you can get the horse to react to a whistle.
12.
12. You're trying your best, but you really don't know much about actually, making that kind. You're trying to say, and then offering an apple, it just eats the apple. Like, no. I mean, like you try to perfect the whistle, and you don't seem like it's really getting the lesson is really getting across. You're just feeding it, and then you're there, and the handler's like,
I say, so long, goodbye, and then I give him the horse.
all right, and the horse starts up the ramp. You see the war go up the ramp. You see the large Wolverine go up, and Zul walks with you, and so does Kale, the goblin, and you guys get onto the little riverboat, and you start trekking down the river, making the long path back to Bourbon Bay and beyond. The rest of you, crowd's starting to disperse, and everyone's heading back down the hill, back towards Champion's Way, and back to Hip Hop's Unknown. Where would you like to go?
Tavern?
Yeah, I want to get back to my friends.
Yeah. Okay. So I figure you guys are all trying to.
This is me asking the guys in character. I literally am just sitting there and look and go, tavern?
Tavern. Let's celebrate.
Victory. Exactly.
All right. As you guys trek along, going back down the way, you see Tara, and you see Tara walk, and you kind of just meet back up, and Tara's like, "I'll be damned. I could have won that fucking money if I knew all I had to do was beat Jago. That is some bullshit." Oh well.
How's Capri doing after the other day?
She's still skittish. She's skittish about everything. She'll be fine though. Well, she'll be fine. We'll get her riding again. Let her just enjoy. Let her just graze as much as she wants to graze. Plenty of rest, plenty of food. She'll be good in a while. She has some cuts. They try to, a large elk sells for a lot of money. So yeah, it's a traumatic experience for the both of us.
Well, how are you doing?
It hasn't hit me yet, so it's probably gonna fuck me up when I'm by myself in like a month. But right now there's some disassociation with it, so for now I'm okay. For now, just win, okay? just you got like, I'll feel better when I lost money on Zul though. God damn it.
He's a safe bet usually.
He was
just real fast.
He was so fucking close. Like,
I know. You know what it is? Jago's good with that crossbow.
yeah, he is. Yeah, he is. I'm your dad's alive because of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Damn it. And she just walks down, and you guys all again now, as you guys have returned to Bourbon Bay, it seems like after the festivities and the race, and there's a strong guard. A lot of the mages are back, and so now you see the soldier mage. You see, and they're also seem like they're like some of the mages are making using minor illusion and creating fireworks and spectacles. Seems like there's a general sense of trying to bring some joy back in, and people are obliging. Seems like happy hour has come and has been going for some time, as not everyone has gone to see the games, more so just enjoyed the festivities back in Bourbon Bay. So it is boisterous, very much like the last time when the first time you walked into Hannibal's. And as you come into Hannibal's, the table setting, it's a little bit scattered. It seems like the tables aren't from originally the store. It seems like they switched, they found what they could find, but there's plenty of booze, there's plenty of food, and everyone is drinking in merriment as you guys there. You see it, and there is a table free.
Great. I'm
all
gonna
there?
just kind of dart in and grab that table as fast as I can.
Yeah.
Keeping an eye out for anybody I recognize.
Okay.
The melee is tomorrow, right?
The group combat is tomorrow. The group combat is tomorrow, and then shortly after that is the single combat.
Okay. Back to back. Cool.
And as you guys are there, you know, like Giselle is behind the counter. She's like, seems like she's smiling again, and she's just drinking. Go, baby, go. Come on, drinks. Come on, get some Lomés. Get some Lomés in here. And like she's shouting around and telling everyone where to go, and people are eating and drinking. A young orc man comes in. Well, can I help you with anything? What would you like? What do you guys want to drink?
Can we get a plate of Lomés and a round of ales?
Oh yeah, we're gonna get you some of that. Okay. All right. And he looks over at you, Arcanus, and he's like, "Oh, you got one of those. You got some of those pork skins from the races.
Yeah.
How's the sauce?"
It's really
Give me a
good.
constitution
Great.
check.
No.
Creeper. It's a creeper.
Ooh. No, it's not. I got 19.
It's your kind of spice. It's like it still gets that good. It's flavorful. It's still flavorful. Mango. You taste a little bit of mango in there, and
Orc
it's-
blood.
It's good, and it's with the cream. And he's like, and you're just like got like a few of them still left down the bottom.
Yep.
You got a few of those guys. There's like 3 of them left. They're like the rejects. They're a little too small, but they're more of the they're more of the flour than anything.
Over fried and stuff.
Yeah. You guys get some plates of Lomés. You get a round of ale, and around the time the food gets there, Jago, the victor, as you come into the Hannibals, everyone looks over at you and they start slamming their drinks down. And it's like, Jago.
Like Nike. I'm like, no. You.
As you guys sit down and drink, and the orc waiter comes over, is like, "Just so you know, you ain't eating for free ever again. Just so you know." Puts an ale in front of you. You guys drink?
Oh yeah.
Give me those
Yeah.
I sipped.
To Jago, the champion of the night.
Hey, Saga's not out after one drink for the first time ever.
Yikes.
We're just doing checks.
Because
or
that
saves.
is a
I knew I shouldn't have drank.
23.
23.
I got a
Okay,
3.
you're good.
16.
16.
I got an 11.
11. You guys are good, but it hits you to the head.
Oh.
Hits you to the head, Arcanus, and you are now instantly, it happened so quickly. You swirled it back, and you're like, oh, I thought the pork would soak up the alcohol, but it's just not. And
No.
but you get advantage to charisma right now. You're very charming right now. You're kind of drunk. You kind of feel it brings out a little bit more confidence. You're at that
Yeah, you
state.
can really charm the chicken out of a sword, if you know what I mean.
God.
Jeez.
You just what you hear in the back of your head. Just a little fear. Just this odd little shake. And almost seeming like destiny. You
Oh
see
God.
Barrett walk in, and you see the very drunk, already drunk half orc walk in behind him, and and everybody kind of does a hush, and they look over, and then peer off, and you see Kit walk out, the woman who lost her horse in the middle of the jagged forest, come out, and she's, they can't fucking kill me, and everyone cheers. And yeah, let's get them a fucking drink.
Round of applause.
And they go and they sit down next to you guys, and they were like, "Yeah, good run. Good run. Proud of you. I'm just checking one thing as I have you guys stuck here. But, gone forever. Anyway. So, another round of drinks come, and Barrett grabs his big, mug and like Goliath size, looks over at Larcanus. Don't worry, I left him at home. And he just drinks. And Kit,
Oh, Larcanus, what is that about?
So I recognize Barrett. I recognize Barrett because I met him. I said, guys, check this out. That fucking guy has these chickens. I swear to God, they're like people. They're so smart. And they're weird. Like, they're always like, one of them was like really absent-minded and it was like punking the air. He was like punking the air. So I don't know if that one's crazy or something like that. But like, I'm telling you guys, these chickens, he trained them for combat. He says they're tech.
On a history check, let me put 2 and 2 together on this.
give me an intelligence check. This is everyone's moment. Everyone gives an intelligence check. Do you
18?
18. You
God, no.
Yes!
You like fucking chicken.
Hey.
Give me that intelligence check, Jago.
Oh man. All right. 11.
Nope. Nope. You're like chickens, Connor.
Okay.
Connor's not even, he's so distracted by his regaling of this tale of chickens, he doesn't even try to put 2 to 2 together.
Saga. You know.
I got my L. I'm just gonna kind of lean forward on the table. Buddy, did you get beat up by a bunch of chickens?
Connor goes, oh!
Oh no! Oh no, you did not tell them. Oh, oh yeah.
Hey, look, Barrett, hey, have you ever thought about how inhumane it is? Okay, do those chickens give consent to this? Okay, you guys want to talk about a man abused by chickens? Let's talk about a man who abuses chickens.
He definitely doesn't abuse the chickens. I saw those chickens. They are so smart. There's no way.
Shut up.
There's no way.
I'm not hearing any of this. I'm shaking somebody else's hand this whole time.
You got your ass kicked by chickens?
Wait, aren't those guys part of the group melee? You should tell us this kind of stuff, man.
Oh yeah, it's a shame. We know so much about you, and
you know nothing, Barrett. You know nothing.
Nothing. You are and like Kit, this is the woman who's saying this. They're like Dragonborn warrior monk. As you attempted, I can tell by the way you try to punch Barrett. Maybe dodge more and not try to punch a Goliath. Try that next time.
You ever tried to dodge multiple chickens? Okay, it's not easy. They come in at different angles and the wings are confusing.
Mm-hmm. And she points at Saga like barbarian. I mean, the axe. That's, it's not hard to guess that. You're not a rogue. Not in armor like that. Not with a weapon like that. And then she looks over at Jago. Weird. There's some magic.
Yeah.
But
I know but you got some arcana in you, because I know a fucking poison spray when I see one. And
nah,
like, do me.
bench. So now that we have all that taken care of,
What?
and you see the half orc just kind of look over. It's all good, man. It's all good. We can just have a good scrap. Have a good old scrap, hey, man. You know about you're from a drinking monastery, and he holds out like his jaw. He has this gourd. He's like, you from a drinking monastery, friend?
No,
No,
thank
I
you.
am. And he starts getting the swigs in more.
So I'm gonna spend my evening just observing each one of these people from this group and trying to gain my my passive insight on their abilities.
Okay.
Do that. I'm gonna drink with them because I finally had a good Constitution roll.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to. I'm gonna look at the server, and I'm gonna hand them 1 platinum. I go, is this enough to clear the drinks for the night for all of us?
Yeah, this would cover, you know. Are you drinking good or are you just drinking?
Oh, we're drinking good. And I lay down another platinum. I'm like, the rest is for you.
No. That's a champion I like. Okay? Unlike Tara, fucking doesn't tip for shit. And he walks off.
Oh, damn.
I'll have a chat with her.
Yeah, you're gonna need to have a chat with her about the way she treats the
we
working
tip
class.
our servers on this island.
Tara forgets.
Gonna
Oh.
remind her.
There you go. There you go. As you guys give me some more, and the people who are still drinking, give me another round of Constitution checks.
Alrighty.
Mm,
22.
22. Whoa.
See what I mean?
oh man, again, I hate
Oh, that's
7.
finally drinking like the sailor she is.
a 5.
You got a 12 out of con.
Man, you guys,
That is 7.
7. Okay, Jago, you're feeling it. You're feeling the booze a little bit. Like the endorphins have finally worn off from being almost eaten alive by a pack of dire wolves. The near misses, the losing for a good chunk, but fucking all of it just kind of washes off. And now you're realizing, oh wow, these are like tall drinks, and you're just finishing them. And but you're getting kind of in a groove, so you have advantage on all charisma checks right now.
Hell yeah.
Larcanus. Yeah, it hit you. It hit you hard. You're kind of ugly. You are at disadvantage on all your checks now.
Sheesh.
Yeah, you got kind of a slur to everything. You know, so some of that charm is a little, but you're still got your faculties. You're not anyone's problem right now.
Okay.
And you see the Goliath. He's just. Whatever drink you guys have, he has 2 of them, and he's just boom, 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 tossing them back. It's like having a drink with Andre the Giant. It doesn't matter to him. He's just.
Jeez.
Kid is having some wine. She's drinking, and she has the bottle right next to her. She drinks and enjoys company. Give me, and you got a 12, right, Connor? Okay, so you're still okay. You're still okay. You're starting to feel it, but you're still good. Give me. Are you like actively like sizing them up and down, like not caring about it? Or are you trying to kind of act like you're not really doing it? You are muted.
I'm gonna play it passive, and I'm gonna just be, I'm not really hiding it, but I'm observing each one of them for my Know
Okay.
Your Enemy perk.
Gotcha. Easy enough.
Hey, I'm a bench.
Yep. It's as you just chill back, as you drink, on your drink, and they catch you, eyeing them up, and when Barrett looks back at you, he like flexes his arm muscles a little bit, like it's like just kind of he does a little flex on you, and then he's like, "You like what you see? I know you do. You need to get me drunker for that."
Do I see him? Oh my god.
Another round. Let's go.
Alrighty.
You don't even use those muscles to fight. You use chicken leg.
I'm gonna be nursing my drink, pretending to drink while I finish up my observations on everyone.
Okay, more food is out in
I'm
front of you
done.
guys. And like people are starting to get up and dance, and give me another round of constitution checks.
No more drinking for me.
18.
13.
Get that 11.
11, both of you. Okay, you're now teetering on the edge, Jago. This is now You've been rolling 11s and 12s, so they've been building. You're starting. Now you're feeling it. You're buzzed. You have advantage on charisma checks. So surprisingly, after so many rounds of drinks, you're actually doing pretty good. You're doing pretty good. Larcanus, you have learned to now, if you now know your tolerance, and you know, like, oh, I gotta slow it down. I gotta be easy. And you see a few other people walk into the tavern. Now there's some ladies and gentlemen finely dressed, and some of the girls are starting to walk over to some of the gentlemen who are by themselves. Some of the men are starting to also walk over to some of the gentlemen. And it seems like this is the other side of Bourbon Bay as the night has gone into the twilight hours, and there are some ladies and gentlemen of the evening who are providing their services. And as you all witness that, you see there's dancing and merriment. Jago, you feel so fatigued. You're feeling fatigued. Like you think back to when you were fighting Tisona, and you took that bottle of rage. It's been about a day now since then, and you're just feeling exhausted and tired and sluggish, and you're like, oh, if I get, but you know how to cure it. You know how to get rid of it. If you can just find a little bit more, just a little more pop, you get it. But you are feeling absolutely exhausted, even though you still got plenty of the day left. You feel like if you don't either get a fix or go to sleep now, you're gonna be exhausted.
I look around, I go, I think I'm gonna go to bed early, everybody.
All right, as you...
Insight check to see if you're being honest, or are you gonna sneak out?
You can do a challenge, insight check to persuasion or deception.
All right. Well, let me see what my modifier is for that. 6.
You rolled a 6?
I rolled a 14.
Okay. Jago, persuasion or deception, whichever one you're telling.
I mean, like...
You don't have to say.
Yeah, but I'm telling I'm just gonna go to bed. I'm feeling really tired. To be honest, taking the bottle of rage is making me feel things I don't want to feel. So I think I need to sleep it off.
Okay. As you...
That's a good idea. If it starts to cause problems, let me know, okay?
I will.
Okay. As you take yourself up to the room, you go into your study, again, very nice decorative room. Seems like the sheets have been changed and water basin has been refilled. There's some fresh fruit and glasses. There's even a bottle of wine that's laid out there. It seems like it's very decorative, like a gift from Hannibal's. And what do you do?
I'll save the bottle of wine in my bag of holding for later.
Okay.
Sort of wrap it in something so it never breaks, and then go to bed.
Alrighty. Okay. And in the meanwhile, the rest of the party, you guys still drinking, dancing, the night is still young. There's a whole festival happening outside, and you start hearing like, phew, seeing some fireworks go off outside, and you start seeing people getting ready for card games. Some guys are getting ready for a drinking game. There's even like Barry kind of looks over at you, Saga, is like, pretty strong, wheeling around an axe like that. How about we see how strong you are?
All right.
Right on. Right on. Okay. Let me
Can I rage for this?
You can.
Yes. So I kind of grin and I'm like, bring it on. And as I do, just these little flickers of electricity start to crackle around me.
And he and he starts swelling up. You see the tension in his forearm, and as you both go into a raise and clasp hands, his massive hand just shrinks over yours, but you're right there, and then you guys start over, and you guys give me a strength check.
All right, strength or athletics?
Well, this is just raw strength. Raw strength again.
With advantage, that'll be 20.
20. And you start pressuring in, and give me another one.
I dropped the die. Hang on.
I get really excited about this arm wrestling competition, and I rush over. I'm like, I want next.
Alrighty, Mr. Disadvantage on everything.
All right, let's try that again. So that'll be a 15.
15. He, like, as you were about to peer in, you just see him strikes up and rolls. Not only does he meet you in the middle, but he starts pushing you off to the side. He rolled a natty 20. And
Yeah.
give me another.
Jesus, I don't have a dice tray here, and it's driving me crazy. Hang on.
Okay. Larcanus, as you like walk over, you start seeing. Are you behind Saga?
Yeah, I'm like watching in the middle, like watching their hands like honed in.
You're starting to see the tension. They're starting to shake, and you're seeing Saga. She's starting to lose a little bit. It's starting to tip her way. What did you roll?
24.
24. It goes back into the middle. Give me another strength check.
And my wonderful boyfriend just brought me a dice tray, so that won't happen again.
Yay! Points to the boyfriend.
23.
23.
20 something. Hold on, math.
If it's over the 20s, he rolled low. He rolled like 11. So you're starting to get him over here. He's going to give one more. Come on, give me another strength check.
Come on, dice. Don't let me down. 20?
What was it?
Even 20.
Even 20? Back into the middle. Give me another one.
22 again.
22. It's going more.
Connor starts a Saga chant. Saga, 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 Saga.
18.
18?
15.
15? Back to it. You start like the sweat's starting to bead. You guys are starting to. Doesn't look like much. You guys are like on your last legs. Give me that.
15 again.
15. It's like he's there. You just gotta fucking push it in.
All right. Come on. 18.
18. Oh, you got him.
Yes.
The whole crowd.
Oh snap!
He just like starts going like, tiefling. Boss, a tiefling did me in.
Two tiefling. I'm gonna grab 2 ales, one for me, one for him, and hand his to him.
He swirls it down, and he looks over at Larcanus, who's like, well, you want something? I can wake up the Colonel. I'm sure he will love to fucking give you.
Please arm wrestle the chicken.
Shut up.
As the drinking goes on, another round of drinks, give me one more Constitution check.
Ready? Ooh, 9. Now we're tipsy.
Now we're tipsy. Now
16.
You're at 16. You're messed up. You're messed up. you no longer have that swagger anymore. You've been drinking for a while. It's a good roll, but you're reaching your parapets. You're realizing, oh, I can't do this much more. Larcanus.
I'm still not drinking. I choose not to. I don't trust my constitution rolls.
Okay, you're still not drinking. You're nursing. You're nursing the drink.
I am.
Night goes on. Unless you guys have anything else you would like to do, then night goes.
I want to make sure that I got my observations on everybody.
You got your observations. I'll drop all that stuff.
Cool.
I'll send you all there. I'll send you.
Yeah, just info dump it. Thanks.
I'll photo dump.
Send them the whole character sheet.
I just send you guys the character sheets. You got a great read on all of them. You got a especially interesting read on Sal. You guys were doing the arm wrestling match. You notice how he would have his gourd of ale and constantly wherever he's drinking and he's dancing in the room. And even though he's dancing and drinking, he doesn't. It looks like he's about to hit someone, and he just dances right around him. He's going all over the dance floor, but he doesn't hit a single person. And he even kind of gets into a swirl and starts dancing around everyone, but doesn't hit. He is fucked up. He is drunk, but he moves like Grace.
Nice.
So you get an idea of like, oh, what kind of fight that's gonna be. And you guys go up. If that's it for you guys go upstairs. You lay into your respective quarters, and you drift off into sleep. Jago, as you dream, you hear a voice, soft, and it gets louder. And it gets louder. You know it is coming, don't you? You feel my influence, my power. Such a great, powerful creature, slowly becoming mine. Before, I did not take such joy in breaking a man. But there's something about seeing the man who killed me have to follow my every command. It feels good. I'm beginning to find a taste for the cruelty of my power. I think I have a new plan. I want to know how much sorrow it will bring to Sona to kill his own ancestral granddaughter. Do you think you can protect her? Do not worry. She will be safe if you come to me. And we'll pick it up there next week.
Ah! What?
What a clip.
Yeah, what a perfect ending. This is crazy.
It's either ended here or ended when you're shopping in the morning. It's just,
Yeah.
It's just too good.
Oh no.
This is perfect.
I'm gonna be nervous about this for a week, y'all.
And you're being hunted.
Wow.
That's so cool, man. All right, well, that feels great, man. Huge shout out to our sponsors, StartPlaying.Games. Huge shout out to Twitch chat. Thank you guys for coming. We really appreciate your presence. It's so awesome to see you all here. If any of you haven't yet, please drop us a follow. We're aiming for affiliate, so we're slowly but surely getting there. And if we see you on TikTok, please sure to follow Chaotic Ellen as well as Bell Comedy on TikTok. They're awesome, and they have plenty of amazing D&D content there. If you guys could put your links in the chat for me. I think I could do Eric's TikTok.com/@BellComedy. And then I don't know how to do Chaotic Good Ellen. I know it's all that, but I don't know if there's anything else in there. I don't want to mess it up.
It's the exact same. Yeah, it's the exact same link.
Okay, cool. I got it then.
Thank you.
Chaotic.
Thank
Good,
you guys
Ellen.
so much, and hopefully we can add more sponsors. Hopefully you guys can keep on coming every week. I will be starting up some one-shots in the future, so stay tuned to this channel. I'll be doing a special one-shot. Maybe I'll get this crew in for that one. A little special. I'm gonna try to kill you one shot. So we'll see.
Ooh.
See how everyone does.
I got some broken bills I can bring to the table for that.
Yeah.
That's not what you're doing now.
No. I
He's taking it easy.
I
Wow.
originally did a I'm gonna kill you session on this game. I let everyone be level 12, and I really let the carte blanche, like pick anything you want. And they had a gunslinger, they had a warforge, and they just broke the fucking game.
Like an anime.
Good.
It was like
It's always
oh,
just
great.
like
Apparently, Nan has 2 demons backing her up because they can just walk through a wraith. And so I was like, but I told him I would try to kill him. But I realized, and if there's any advice I can give to any DM out there, not a great way to do a session. That is just an excellent way for no one to give a fuck about your story, no one to give a fuck about anything that has happened, because you're just trying to kill them. So I would not suggest that as a DM strategy, and because then you have to do a whole lot of work to kind of get them back interested. But everyone's having a great time, and you guys have been such a perfect group. I thank you guys so much for doing this with me. And so Ellen, thank you, because we didn't really know each other, so I'm glad that you came on over and did it. Sean, I haven't seen you in years, and I'm glad this is your first D&D.
Yeah, this is dope.
And
I love this.
Bear, Rich, you guys are the homies. You guys have always, backed me up, especially me and you, Bear, go way back. And Rich, you guys introduced me to D&D in Vegas. So, and Twitch, thank you guys again for listening to me spiel my little narrative structure, and we will see you next week.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
That went well.